What's up, fam? How's it going? I hope you enjoyed the longer wait time. The reason for that was simple. This is going to be a little bit of a longer stream, so by default, you gotta wait a little longer to get started with it too. Get what I'm saying? What's up to YouTube and Twitch? If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you smash that like button. With your mouse, give it a click. You don't have to put your penis on it. But if you're watching on Twitch, then click that follow button, Do what you can to show your support for a real homie. Oh man, we got a lot of shit to talk about today. I'm excited. I know we have a scheduled debate. I think around 2 o'clock. Supposed to be talking to this one guy. Let's see. Let me check my Twitter. So how's everyone doing today? I assume well? Mustache gone? Yep. Alright, wait. Just got your videos into me. Wait, what? This guy. Hold on. I'm being accused of calling this guy a Nazi when it wasn't fair. Hold on. Turns out that the far right-wingers, they don't really want Jews in their new society. As far as they're concerned, the Jews are the elites. Oftentimes. And suddenly
say
you're
this
gonna have
about
an issue
him.
here. A serious ideological divide.
Oh, come on. I was not saying that he was that. I was talking more broadly about populism.
Alright. Sorry if it... Hold on. Came across that way. I was obviously talking more broadly about... populism. I didn't call you a Nazi at all. That was a completely different point. I was saying more broadly. All right. Okay. All right. We're going to talk about the 2000 election. Yeah, I know. Such a weird fucking topic, right? But promise, don't go anywhere, okay? This will be entertaining. All right, this guy's going to get on in a second. But yeah, we're going to talk about the 2000 election. So my general opinion on this is that there's a bit of a lefty conspiracy theory that the 2000 election was stolen. I know, sound familiar, right? Sound kind of like the loony Republicans this time around. But yes, this is actually a conspiracy theory that's rather prolific on the left. All right, I don't know if this guy's right or left, but that's what started this whole conversation. So I don't know. Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right, there we go. So, nice to finally talk to you, man. End Time Support Group. I've seen you all over my Twitter feed.
Yeah, are we on the air?
Yeah, we're live right now. Please respect,
Oh,
the
yeah.
rules. Don't say anything racist or anything.
Oh, no, not really. I don't know. We're going to have to cut this conversation short, though.
That's funny. So, are you a right-winger or a left-winger?
I'm on the left, but we're a comedy show.
Oh, so you do a comedy show. Is that why your picture was It the Clown?
Uh-huh.
Okay, that's cool. So,
yeah, we do a comedy show, so that's why I asked about the cursing, because if I don't have a dick joke,
no, you can. It's fine to curse on here. I don't give
my
a fuck.
audience is going to get confused.
Oh, so you're live on your end too?
Yeah. Well, no, not live. I'm recording though.
Okay, cool. So yeah, let's talk about this. The 2000 election conspiracy theory, or I call it a conspiracy theory. It sounds like you heavily disagree with me on that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, not only that. I mean, you could Google Bush stole 2000 conspiracy theory, and you're not going to find anything that says that. So I mean, this is an unusual thing that seems to be.
I don't care if it's
said by
usual or
few-
not. It's more whether or not it's grounded in actual reality. And you're gonna have to give me a little more detail on how Bush stole the election.
Well, I think the felon. I think the felon purge was probably the main factor. You have 12,000 votes
Mm-hmm.
of legally registered voters who didn't, who weren't allowed to vote.
Well, yeah,
And
and
that
that I
was-
honestly I was looking into this the other day, and yeah, I read this really interesting article actually from Politico talking a little bit about that, and yeah, what happened with the voter purge was totally unfortunate, and it was a blatant example of voter suppression. But that does not at all prove your claim that Bush stole the election. You know that, right?
No,
This was
voter.
hold on,
suppression is
wait. I need to
made-
explain this to my audience really quickly. So
Okay.
the precedent for this was already set in 1997 when a bunch of corrupt votes were cast in a different Miami mayoral election. So the bill also, if I'm not mistaken, was put in place. It was Catherine Harris, elected in 1998, who oversaw the 2000 purge along with the state elections lawyer Emmett Mitchell. This was designed and set years beforehand. This doesn't prove that Bush was involved. We can talk about the fuck up that was this purge of like felons from their voter rolls, but that doesn't mean the entire election was stolen.
But are you aware of the emails that were sent from Bucky? I think his name is Bucky Mitchell to the database technologies.
Was it
in
where
which
they
told them
they
told
said
them
that it
it
was
would
going to
be-
be a pretty broad brush?
they said it was going to be 70 to something like 70 to 80% accuracy, and Bucky Mitchell said to go ahead and do it. We would let the election supervisors determine whether or not the whether or not that those names were matched.
Right.
So
it
you
was,
would get something.
that was hold on. Can I? Because that was totally a fuck up. You're right, but we're not arguing whether or not
Well, I
this
don't know if it was a
this
fuck-up.
we're
It was
not
on purpose.
we're not arguing about whether or not this purge was a fuck up. We're arguing about whether or not something that happened 2 years before the election in one state somehow means that someone stole the entire election. This was outside the purview of the upcoming election, and as far as I'm concerned, this was fairly removed from Jeb Bush. He did obviously have some involvement as governor, of course, but at the end of the day, what we have is documented intent, and the reason for that was because they were trying to purge felons from the voter rolls. They wanted to stop voter fraud. To me, it sounds like typical conservative bullshit, but this doesn't mean that it's the whole election was rigged or stolen. Do you understand what I mean?
It's typical now, and also you're neglecting Jeb. You don't need Jeb Bush to be involved. Like Lincoln was assassinated without Jeb Bush's help. I mean, you don't need Jeb Bush's help for a conspiracy. Catherine Harris is co-chair of the Bush campaign while being Secretary of State. Jeb Bush blames her for it. This Bucky Mitchell guy worked under Catherine Harris.
Mm-hmm.
And the election in 2000 was a lot different than what was going on in 1998. I mean, there were affidavits that were provided for, at poll sites, and they weren't there. They would try to call these election supervisors on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody would answer. That was unusual.
So what you're doing right now, though, is the typical conspiracy thing, right? So what you're telling
it's
me,
not a
yes, you
conspiracy.
are. Let me
They
explain.
went in
Hold on,
court.
wait, stop, because you
They
are.
went to court.
No, it's. Did they prove it in court? Did the court accept it?
Of course they did. Listen,
What part of
you
what
have
did
settlement.
what went to court? What went to court?
They were sued under the Voting Rights Act. Now, a settlement is not
We're
necessarily.
not arguing
guilty.
whether or not that was a
But-
fuck up. We're
fine,
arguing on whether or not
but-
the entire election was stolen. And this is
It
why.
was stolen.
This
Just
is why
by
you're.
your own admission, there was voter suppression. It was stolen. Of
Hey,
course
buddy,
it was stolen.
there's
It's a
arguably
stolen
voter.
election.
Hold on. There's arguably voter suppression for every election. It doesn't mean that
Okay.
one
Shoplifting
instance of vote.
happens all
Hold
the
on.
time.
Excuse me.
Shoplifting happens all the time. That doesn't mean it's not theft.
I, this doesn't prove the entire election was stolen. This was something that happened that was in. This was something that happened that was improper in one state of Florida that was signed into place by back in the 1997 court precedent. This was something that,
Okay.
although was negative, that did have a bad outcome at the end of the day, seemed to more or less just be a policy to try and remove felons. Even if I granted all of that, that does not prove that the entire election was stolen. And the reason you're giving me conspiracies right now is because you're now telling me, well, this person had worked here and also here, and this person worked here and here. You're taking a couple facts and you're trying to construct an overall holistic narrative, and that is a conspiracy theory, my friend.
To the Bush campaign. It's not a conspiracy theory. And if, like I said, if you Google conspiracy theory, Bush 2000, you're not going to find anybody.
I don't care.
Not yet. I mean,
it's also, if you really want to talk
way.
about anything, I think your stronger argument would probably be the butterfly ballots fucked up a bunch of stuff too.
The butterfly ballots. I don't even want to talk about the butterfly ballots. You know what I'd like to talk about is the Brooks Brothers riot. You have IRS tax records going directly from the Bush campaign.
I understand what happened with that. Yeah,
the recount.
That doesn't necessarily that was a.
That's literally a conspiracy. Once you have more than two people,
we're not talking about conspiracy. That doesn't prove the election was stolen, buddy. We're talking about one
because they stopped the recount.
The Supreme Court.
Dude, Terry McAuliffe, governor of Virginia, says it was stolen. If you
I
got
don't
Hillary
care.
Clinton in her most
Dude, you
honest
realize there are
moment-
people. Stop. There are people on the other side of the aisle. You realize that Republicans accuse the Florida Supreme Court of being biased towards
That
the
sounds like a
Democrats.
false equivalency.
Florida
That sounds like a
Supreme
false
Court
equivalency.
ordered, for example, undervotes to
They
be
also say
recounted
COVID isn't real.
without Gore even requesting it. So there's something.
What was that
There's
again? I
something.
missed that last part.
The Florida Supreme Court ordered undervotes to be recounted without Gore even requesting it.
Okay.
Second of all, if you want to talk about the Supreme Court decision, again, there was court precedent there. This wasn't just an on-the-whim thing. That you can read what they said.
The Supreme Court, I don't think there was a precedent for that. And actually, when they signed off on
well,
it,
okay, maybe hold on. Maybe precedent was
this as a precedent.
Maybe precedent was the wrong word to use, but they did, as far as I'm concerned, have to abide by 3 U.S. code. I think I'm saying that correctly. I can send this to you
Well,
here.
I think that had something to do with the deadline for the recount. But I mean, the felon vote.
Yes.
When you have 12,000 votes, listen. If 1 in 9 voters are going to pick Gore, or I mean, 1 in 9 voters, black voters, are going to pick Bush. That means 90% of black votes are going to Al Gore. Or right? Isn't that something like that? Yeah. So
something or another. Yeah, sure.
So then you have what? 11% of registered voters are black. 44% of those people were on the felon purge. Now,
I recognize that it was
based
a
on
fuck
the
up,
emails,
but that doesn't prove the whole
it's not
election.
a fuck up. It's not a fuck up because they have emails where he said they were warned that this net is too wide. You're going to get false identities, and he said that's fine.
Who said that's fine?
Bucky Mitchell said that was fine. He worked under Katherine Harris.
Okay.
Katherine Harris was campaign co-chairman for the Bush campaign in Florida. I mean, dude, that's a smoking gun.
I will admit that it sounds. I will admit that
they knew what they were doing, and they did it. And I'll give you another example. What happened in St. Louis?
Am I able to respond? Because I admit that sounds like there might be a little bit of shady shit there, but how come none of this was ever really proven?
What do you mean? It was proven. It was proven in court. They went to court. They were sued under the Voting Rights Act, and they fucking lost. Listen, like I said.
The thing is that my big problem here is that you're trying to construct an overall story here. Like there may have been something.
Well, there is no rules.
Hold on. There may have been something that was conspiratorial even about the voter purge. But again, this took place a little bit, as far as I'm concerned, it was started before the election a little while back. And also they had no way of knowing in the future that the election was going to hinge on Florida by any means. So it just, I don't know. I feel like even if that were true, it doesn't prove that the entire election was stolen necessarily. Like, it's true that Florida is a important battleground state, but they had no way of knowing in the future that would happen.
Well, did you know there was a court case? There was a lawsuit. They were suing in court in St. Louis too, because they needed
I know
to
that they were
extend-
sued.
they had limited polls.
Of
In order
course,
to
I'm
keep
not.
the polls
The thing
open
is, I'm
longer.
not trying to argue with you about whether or not this voter purge thing was good or bad. Hands down, it was completely 100% bad and mishandled in every way. I just think that taking that and stretching that out to, well, she wanted to help this person so that this could happen, so that this would work out, so that he could become president, so they wanted to. It starts to sound a little conspiratorial if you think about it at
Do you
the end
think
of the
voter
day.
suppression is conspiratorial? I mean, do you think
I
that
don't
we
think
need
voter
voting
suppression
rights?
is conspiratorial, but I think that you
You
implying
don't.
that there was some deep deceptive manipulation here going on behind the scenes is, yeah, a little bit conspiratorial at the end
Well,
of the
this
day.
is the beginning of modern
Also, like,
voter
there are people.
suppression began with the 2000 election.
I'm curious
I
what your
mean,
position is on butterfly ballots, because butterfly ballots also have been proven to
what's a
cost at least
butterfly? What's with
2,000
you
to
guys on the
3,000 votes as
butterfly
well.
ballot? Oh, what's with the, well, listen, dude, listen, I was saying this the other day. I mean, if people seem to be obsessed with these butterfly ballots, and I don't know why, but you can look at a pattern of conduct. And you know what, dude? There was a 2004, in the 2004 Kerry election, if you were to look up whether or not that was a conspiracy theory, that'll pop up. Because,
I know they
there
tried to
was
do
a,
another
yeah.
voter purge and then they had to cancel it.
Well, no, it wasn't a
And it was
voter
once again
purge. It was I mean, well, when I was,
a
when
felon
I
purge,
remember it,
more or less.
it was like there was a blackout or something like that. And when they turned the machines on, these debolt machines, the numbers had changed and all this stuff. But like there was debolt
I
machine
don't know. That
problems
just
in
sounds a little
Florida.
funky.
I know it does. Well, I don't, I don't have an opinion on that. So, but they did have voter machine problems like that, where like, Gore ended up with negative 16,000 votes.
Well, there were a
And then
bunch
you
of.
had,
The thing also is
yeah,
that not only were there irregularities here and there, but the reason people bring up butterfly ballots is because it also cost Al Gore a pretty good amount of votes, considering that at the end of the day, even now let's be realistic. As all the recounts were taking place, now in the places where they were able to complete the recounts, never did it show Al Gore actually leading. Bush always held a very slim lead there. And so the butterfly ballots, if you look, since Bush won by what, like 537 votes or something, the butterfly ballots cost Al Gore anywhere between like 2,000 to 4,000 votes. So that's why
yeah, but
people bring up the butterfly
felon
ballots,
purge,
just to be
the
clear.
felon purge cost 12,000 votes. So, I mean, I think that's a wider problem, and it goes from different precincts.
See,
to
I think
different
voter
precincts.
suppression is a wider problem, but I think that saying this person did this so that this could happen, so that they could manipulate the whole election because it was they somehow knew it was all gonna hinge on Florida at the 2000. It just seems like a really big stretch. And what you're telling me right now, the reason I compare it to some right-wing conspiracy theories is because you're giving me examples of like, why did the power go out in this one time? Why did the machines suddenly change? Like, this
No,
sounds
I
like a
gave
Trump
you an
supporter saying
example.
the same thing about like
I gave no,
half-truths, we're
hold
not
on,
really
hold
sure.
on. I gave you an example of an actual conspiracy theory. I'm making a distinction between what happened in 2004 with the blackouts and what happened in 2000. They never went to court, and as far as the butterfly ballots go, they went. I think they tried to go to court for the butterfly ballots, but it didn't work out. They settled a lawsuit over voter suppression, over the felon purge. Now, they did not admit guilt, but they agreed to make changes based upon what they were being sued for, which is the same thing as a guilty plea.
I mean, I agree. The thing is I'm not denying with you at the end of the day the voter suppression stuff at all. I know I've already said that like 5 times. I don't disagree with you on that at all. But really what
we're arguing about whether or not voter suppression is the same thing as stealing then. That sounds like what we're disagreeing about.
Yeah, it sounds like almost like a semantics thing. And
Yeah,
it's because when you bring up
I think
it's because when you bring up things like it's rigged or it's stolen, that does imply malintent.
There's malintent.
Well, okay.
There was
I think that Republicans have a lot of malintent when it comes to voter suppression. But I think, again, thinking that this was coordinated to all somehow sway the election, it becomes more or less a grand conspiracy. And I think that's where we might be breaking away from. Because I think there's a great convo to be had about how bad that felon purge was. It was a massive fuck up, 100%.
I don't think it was a fuck up. I think it was on purpose.
Okay. Well,
I mean, the emails prove that it was on purpose.
it doesn't. It proves that they thought they would handle it, and that they were aware that the net would be a bit too wide. It does
Yeah, they
not
were
prove
told
that.
them.
No, but it doesn't prove that they were trying to do this to somehow like sway an election or
They
anything.
had already used it to get Jeb Bush in office because Jeb Bush had lost governor in like his race for governor in '94. They made those changes before Jeb Bush's, and they used to call Jeb Bush Jeb Crow apparently down in Florida. But yeah, that's why. So they knew that it would work. And whether or not whether or not they knew that the election would hinge on Florida, I don't know. The polling data looked pretty. I think it was neck and neck from the beginning. And
It's my understanding that this
they
voter
knew,
purge was not.
every state counts.
Excuse me. It's not. It's my understanding that the felon purge thing happened before the election began.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like in the middle of the election all of a sudden, right? Like, do we know when did it take place versus how close to the election did it happen?
I don't know. I think they hired the company maybe in 1998. I think they might have hired the company in 1998, and they came up and they did it. They spent 2 years making these matches.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Well, I think that I did a lot of. It's interesting because I did a lot of research on this, and I feel like I learned a lot throughout this thing too. It's
yeah.
It's an interesting kind of. Are you being sarcastic with me right now?
No, it does sound like you did. I didn't know you'd know. I didn't know you know this Bucky Mitchell guy's name.
Well, I didn't. I don't know Bucky Mitchell, but I did know about the.
Well, I don't know him personally either, but I didn't know you'd know his name.
Yeah, I got you. But yeah,
did you know the thing? Did you hear the St. Louis thing though? They were going to try to extend voting times to accommodate all the voters by an hour, and then Bush sued St. Louis to stop that from happening.
I know a lot of weird shit happened with Bush suing to like stop recounts, but at the same time that kind of sounds just like the regular legal process where the one candidate where it says they win, of course they want to stop the recounts, and then the one candidate that says they lost, they're suing to force the recounts. I guess I just get more concerned when I hear people, because I've heard people take it as far as to say, like, make it sound conspiratorial even with the way the Supreme Court ruled. And
well,
I think that would be a bit of a stretch. Like if you
did you know what Scalia's justification for stopping the recount was, right?
Wasn't it U.S. code?
He said it will cause doubt in the legitimacy of the Bush presidency. In other words, before the recount even happened and they had decided.
That's not what I'm reading at all here. Hold on.
Scalia said that the reason they had to stop the recount was because it would it. Dude, that's in Wikipedia, I think. I don't know, or I think the Atlantic has a.
I'm reading from
there's an oral history,
and it says that. Let's see here. Hold on. So there was the majority opinion at oral arguments on December 11th. Bush's
equal protection was one of them.
Bush's legal team asserted that the Florida Supreme Court had exceeded its authority by ordering the manual recount of undervotes, while Gore's team contended that the case, having already been decided at the state level, was not a matter for consideration at the federal level. Okay, yada yada.
There were two findings. One was equal protection, and the other one I can't remember what the.
So there was that was the equal protection. Wait. Why would you bring up? You realize by bringing up equal protection that supports my point.
Not really, because they could have sent it back down to Florida.
No, that was what was invoked, and it was pretty strict.
Standardized recount.
In a concurrent opinion joined by Associate Justices Antonin Scalia, yada yada yada.
Yeah.
Agreed with the majority regarding.
They can do that.
Quote, surely when the Florida legislator empowered the courts of the state to grant appropriate relief, it must have meant relief that would have become final by the cutoff date of 3 U.S.C. 5, which is the Code 5, which talks about you have to stop any kind of voting conflicts and controversies at least 6 days before the electors vote. But also suggested that the safe harbor provision itself imposed a strict deadline beyond which no recounts could proceed. In presidential elections, the contest period necessarily terminates on the date sent by another U.S. code. He argued in addition that the recount order was invalid because it effectively created new election law in violation of Article 2, Section 1 of the U.S. Constitution. So I assume that's what you were talking about right there. And
No. There's a. It's something called imminent danger, or something like that.
no, you realize
And
that the way that they were like recounting the votes was inconsistent on county to county, and that was what.
because they were only counting them in 4 counties, and that was the basis of the equal protection thing.
Well, weren't they
And
only counting them in the counties where it had been challenged?
I'm not 100% sure, but they were only counting them in 4 counties. They hadn't finished with Miami-Dade, and that was because of the Brooks Brothers riot. That they had to where the Bush campaign literally physically stopped the recount. But there's just some law that says like there's some kind of imminent danger in continuing this recount. Like they wanted to do a standardized recount throughout Florida. And then Scalia said that they couldn't because it would cast doubt into the legitimacy of the Bush presidency.
All right, let's.
Which I found to be pretty bizarre, because there was no Bush presidency yet. So it was almost like an assumption that it would win. But I mean, again, that's not what I would hinge any argument about whether or not it was rigged on. I would just hinge it on the voter purge, because that's where all the evidence is. I mean, that's where the emails are, and the Brooks Brothers riot.
I feel like there's a much more middle ground that we can probably agree on here.
That we need to have voting rights legislation passed is.
Well, yeah, fucking hell yeah. I'm not denying any of that shit. Hold on, I'm not. It's not looking too good, buddy. Antonin Scalia cast doubt Bush presidency. That's what I Googled.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really finding. Okay, hold on.
Well, I got it either out of an Atlantic article or Wikipedia has yeah. Oh, jeez.
Okay, so this I think is the quote directly. In response, Scalia first used his opinion to note that the majority, by acting as it did, showed it believes that the petitioner, Bush, had a substantial probability of success. That is one of the tests that a party before the court must meet in order to get a temporary order blocking a lower court ruling. Okay. Scalia then turned on the issue of potential harm to Bush from continued counting. One of the issues in the case, he said, is whether the votes being counted had been cast legally by Florida voters. If they were not, he said, their counting, quote, does threaten irreparable harm to petitioner and to the country by casting a cloud upon what he claims to be the legitimacy of his election.
Yeah, that's what I find fascinating.
This doesn't sound fascinating to me at all. This sounds completely
bizarre.
standard.
I mean,
He's talking. He was talking about this.
Hadn't been determined.
Scalia was obviously being swayed by Bush's legal arguments here. So I reject the idea that just if the election or the court didn't vote in the way we would have liked it to, that means it was rigged or anything. Second of all, this is just Scalia talking about, from Bush's perspective, that if the votes were illegal votes, it would threaten harm to the legitimacy of his election. That's true.
Also, in Ginsburg's
wait,
dissent,
no, don't run. Wait,
What?
and you need to answer that, because this doesn't sound like.
What do you mean?
You were making it sound like Scalia was like, well, I don't want anybody to be think that George Bush isn't like the most legit guy around, And then
That's why.
no, and then when we read the quote, and then when we actually read the quote, it's pretty clear with the full context. What he's saying is, hey, if some of these votes being counted were illegal votes or cast illegally, that would threaten the legitimacy of Bush's election.
It would. That's what he was worried about.
Yes, if they were cast illegally cast votes.
Well, there were no illegally cast votes as far as I know.
But he was referencing if there were. He literally
If
said
there hypothetically
one of
were,
the issues
was
in the
that
case,
even
he said, is
presented in
whether
court?
the votes being counted had been cast legally by Florida voters. If they were not, he said, their counting, quote, does threaten irreparable harm to petitioner and to the country by casting a cloud upon what he claims to be the legitimacy of his election.
so he pulled something out of his ass and then addressed it. I
No,
don't
not at
understand
all.
what that's against him.
No, he didn't pull anything out of his ass. There was
There
a
were
bunch
no
of
illegal votes.
There was court precedent here, first of all, to stop the recount with one, the U.S. law that they have to abide by, and two, the fact that there were they were inconsistent with how they were counting the votes in various different counties.
Uh-huh.
So those are two different reasons why there were strong arguments for stopping the recount. There had already been a few recounts taking place. All of them had still shown Bush leading, although by slim margins. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, it went through the legal processes that were necessary, and Bush won the election. There were irregularities there, and thankfully things have changed greatly since the 2000 election, and things have only gotten better.
Well, not really. That Bucky Mitchell guy, the Bucky Mitchell guy we were talking about.
Yeah, voter suppression still happens, but
did you know? So then you do know in 2011, he created legislation, more voter suppression legislation. It was to limit early voting, and the other thing was to limit voter registration. And
this
the voter
is just
registration
going on. This is regular Republican bullshit. They always want to restrict people from voting.
That but it's not a fuck up. It's
okay, fine. So even if it's a Republican trying to suppress votes, it doesn't mean the entire election was rigged. If anything, it would prove voter suppression in a county in Florida.
It came down to Florida. I mean,
but they had no way of knowing
Florida
that.
was rigged.
They had but they had no way of knowing that.
No, it did come down to Florida.
But they had no way of knowing that. You see, so that's where it breaks away from the rigged definition.
Every state that they can possibly get. It doesn't matter whether or not if it came down to Florida or not. Florida would have still been rigged. That's just how Florida elections.
But the argument isn't whether or not Florida was rigged. It's whether the whole election was, and that would imply intent.
That is the whole election.
And a deceptive attempt to manipulate the 2000 election from a 1997 thing that was set from court precedent when there was actual vote irregularities that allowed them to legally purge those voters, as shitty as it was. I don't know, man. Just sounds like a little bit of a stretch to me, you know?
Florida, your argument that Florida wasn't rigged is that New Hampshire wasn't rigged?
Admittedly, I do not know enough about New Hampshire, so I don't think I'm ready to challenge you there.
No, I'm just saying that's what I'm saying. I mean, you're saying that Oregon wasn't rigged, therefore but Florida was, therefore the election wasn't stolen. That can't really be.
I think it's more or less a semantics argument and maybe a little bit of a cope, but also we can really learn from
semantics.
It is semantics. And also, I would be more than happy to actually meet you in the middle, and I think that there are a ton of valuable things we can learn from the 2000 election thing. For example, that voter purge, perfect example of systemic racism. The way that sometimes, even if people have their intent to prevent voter fraud or whatever, and for that reason they want to keep felons from being able to vote, since in the state of Florida, felons are not able to vote. It's a stupid thing that thankfully was changed later. But again, that was following the law at the time.
Well, a law from 1868. They have a...
So what?
They still have to they have to pay all their fines now or some shit like that if they want to vote.
And it's a perfect example of how sometimes if you try to stop one thing, you end up hurting a different group, even if it's inadvertent, right? But it wasn't. It was black people that were disproportionately affected, but it wasn't just black people. There were a fuck ton of people that were negatively affected.
But I mean, it was a Jim Crow era law. I mean, if you have a huge margin of black people in prison, I mean, in 1868 they passed this law. It was designed in
I'm definitely glad that the people they did find that Republicans were somewhat responsible for the voter purge thing and everything else. Jeb Bush was partially responsible too. But I just think that at the end of the day, claiming that the entire election was stolen or rigged, maybe it's a semantics thing. I think that we disagree a little bit with the intent thing. You seem to be ascribing intent, whereas I'm only able to go off of what was said, which I know is kind of stupid. Obviously we can speculate, but that's really all it is at the end of the day, is speculation.
Well, listen.
We only have what's documented.
If you own a car company, and I tell you, hey, this Pinto your Pinto you're making, it's gonna explode if somebody rear ends it, and you sit there and you calculate, if you sit there and calculate, well, it's going to cost us less in lawsuits than it is to pull these cars. So let's just keep the cars out on the road. I mean, you could sit there and argue about intent all day, but you're probably gonna go to jail for that. I mean, it's just this whole thing. The guy sat there and was told, hey, this thing is too wide. We can narrow these margins, and we can make this voter
Did they say
purge
that they
more
could? I
accurate.
think that they simply
Oh
said
yeah,
that.
they could.
that
No,
I
they were
thought it was because they were
specifically
using
told.
weren't they using an older technology?
No. The database technologies told them that we can narrow these out, and they go, no, we want to keep this at about 70% accurate, because I don't think those guys do voter felon purges or get involved in elections anymore over this, because they blamed the election officials. Jeb Bush blamed Catherine Harris.
Yeah, there was blame all around, and it's really because there were a lot of moving pieces here, and I don't think that any one person was responsible for anything.
I would never expect to catch Jeb Bush doing anything. And I don't understand. And I remember hearing these debates earlier, and there we go. Since you don't have a connection to Jeb Bush, then you don't really have a case. That's a little disingenuous, because like Nixon didn't know they were going to break into Watergate. Ronald Reagan didn't know they were selling guns. They just said, do whatever you have to do and make sure that it gets done and leave me out of it. Because that's the whole, any notion of crime, any idea of crime, whoever's in charge is always going to be insulated. That's like how the mob works. So you're never going to
But he did face consequences, right? Some Republicans were held responsible for
by Donald Trump. Donald Trump
bullshit.
Probably talking shit up to him about it. I don't know what Jeb Bush ever faced consequences for that.
I think he did. I think he faced consequences in court, right?
All I know is they went to the NAACP sued them. They initiated some changes, and now they're just trying to do new shit.
Right.
So
honestly, I'll be honest. Yeah, I think that this was a interesting discussion. Sorry if I went a little hard on you here and there, but
that's all right, dude.
I think that it was an interesting talk, and I think that you've posed some good questions here. You kind of had me thinking a little bit, thinking a little bit more about this. Although I did dig in pretty deep to this over the past couple days.
Good. Where did you get this idea from? I mean, what brought this up in the first place?
Honestly, I saw some lefty debates where people were talking about this and honestly making claims that were a little bit more bombastic than yours.
Well, of the three of you, you seem to be the only one willing to have a conversation about it, so I'll give you kudos for that.
Thanks, man. Yeah, is there anything else you disagree with me on that you want to talk about? I saw another DM where you said I was funnier when I was right wing or something. I thought maybe there was some other...
no, we do, like we roast people, and we did the Vouch, we did your debate with Vouch over Kevin Hart. And yeah, we ripped up Vouch a little bit because
I did pretty badly in that debate, though.
No, you didn't look that good, but Vouch. First of all, Kevin Hart did apologize, and second of all, that study doesn't say that racist or that homophobic jokes create homophobia. So that study just said it makes homophobes more comfortable. And in the story I gave, this is to give an example of how what the study is saying. So my co-host was doing this dark comedy show at this club, and this guy after him was saying some homophobic stuff. And this woman next to me, now I was laughing at it because it was wrong, what he was saying. But the woman next to me was not laughing. She was going like nodding her head going, that's true. That's true. And that's essentially that study that he cited. That's essentially what it said. Like the guy who's not homophobic is going to laugh at it.
Because they recognize it more. Because
doesn't
that kind of go back to what I was saying? Doesn't that go back to a little bit like what I was saying? Is that like it's that you laugh at it most likely because you recognize the absurdity of it.
Oh yeah. That's the whole point of it. Is it's so wrong that you laugh at it. But plus, it's just it's a good joke. Jokes are just magic, card tricks.
I don't know. I think that jokes definitely can normalize some pretty negative behaviors. But
no, I think
that's a talk for another day, my friend.
Okay, well, it's just the study he was citing. He seems to have misunderstood that study. But I wasn't turned into a homophobe. That's all I'm saying.
That's good. I'm glad to hear.
But anyways, cool, man. It was cool talking to you.
Yeah, man. Well, have a good rest of your day, all right? And keep
All right.
keep preparing for the end times, okay?
You too.
See you, man. What a nice chat. All right, hold on. Let's see. I keep forgetting to look something up here. Okay, hold on. I'm reading this because someone else is going to argue with me on vaccine stuff soon. Vaccine manufacturers aren't the ones approving their product for mass distribution. That is the job of the FDA. Which begs the question, can you sue the U.S. government? No. You can't sue the FDA for approving or disapproving a drug. Okay. Sovereign immunity came from the king. Damn. You couldn't sue the king, so America has sovereign immunity, and even each state has sovereign immunity. Okay. There are limited exceptions, but Dunn said he doesn't think they provided a viable legal path to hold the federal government responsible. So this might be something specific with the COVID thing, but they view it as a selling point. Because there are government entities. Yeah, the government has created a way for people to recover some damages. The PrEP Act established the Countermeasures Injury Compensation Program, which provides benefits to eligible individuals who suffer serious injury from one of the protected companies. The little-known government program has been around for a decade, and it is managed by an agency under the HHS. This fund typically only deals with vaccines you probably would never get. If a case for compensation through the CICP is successful, the program provides up to $50,000 per year in unreimbursed lost wages. It is also capped at the death benefit of $370,000, which is the most a surviving family member receives in the event that a COVID vaccine proves to be fatal. Okay. It's difficult to navigate. So again, see, this is why I think these conversations could be valuable. Like, we could have a conversation about, like, there needs to be a way to hold these companies responsible and seek compensation if you're injured by a vaccine. 100%. Not everybody's going to be perfect. There are going to be some people that have negative side effects. And if that happens, then there should be a way for those people to be compensated. Let's talk about that. But let's not take it from there to the pharmaceutical companies have manipulated the market because they're trying to poison us all with Bill Gates' poisonous little depopulation tool. That's what the vaccine really is. No. Like, can we let's just keep it in the realm of reality. All right. I hit someone up. Well, actually, no, I didn't hit them up. Someone hit me up on Instagram, wanted to talk. Doesn't seem like they're responding now. Okay. Go away, you creep. Trick Yushian, thank you for the $2. Talk about the Canadian federal election. I love you, but I don't follow Canadian politics, so I'm sorry, it's going to be tough for me. Demon Doggo, thanks for the $5. Do you think the California recall will be successful today? I don't know. We'll see. Please talk about the California recall vote. I haven't looked into this enough. We should IQ test anti-vax politicians. It's funny. They're not anti-vaxxers? They are. Do you want to talk? Let's chat, buddy. I would love to talk with you. Yeah, if you're enjoying the stream, guys, then consider putting something in the super chat if you want to help support, or if you want to buy me Burger King or a gram of weed, or just say hey to your boy, then you can send something to my PayPal as well. And with that, you can include a message that I am able to read and respond to right here on stream. Just like that. Just like if you donate a super chat. All messages will be read and responded to live, and your donations help support the channel. This is going to be a little bit of a longer stream, at least for me. So yeah, if you want to help support the channel, please do. If you want your message read and responded to live, now's your chance. Or if not, then sit back and enjoy the stream. So we got some shit to talk about here. Maybe, why don't we start with Nicki Minaj? Nicki Minaj is a total moron. I'm saying it. I'm not afraid to say it. Let's pull up a picture here and make sure it's not one where she's fucking half naked. Or literally fucking. At this point, who knows? Okay, am I gonna get banned for any of this? Probably not. Oh god. Okay, this is fair. How do I do this? Why am I so dumb? I'm not about to download a picture of Nicki Minaj on my computer. Fuck! Alright, you know what? Fuck this. We're out. We're done. Okay. Ta-da! This is Nicki Minaj, for those of you who are unfamiliar. She's quite famous. She makes a lot of well-known songs, singing about deep and complex subjects, such as her vagina. That's a topic she hits on quite frequently. Her ass. And then there's another one too. Oh, that's right. Her tits. And then sometimes she gets real daring and references her vagina again. So Nicki Minaj, just take a look at her, Listen to a couple songs by her. What's her most popular? Most popular songs. Let's find out. Now, I'm not going to lie. Some of Nicki Minaj's songs are not terrible. But most of them are extremely, sexual and gross. So we don't need to listen to them, but whatever. Hip-hop rapper type, Very the sexualized stuff. It's okay. Obviously, she has the freedom to do it. But I'm not really a fan myself. She competes with Cardi B a lot. But yeah, either way, Nicki Minaj, here you go, everybody. After hearing a little bit about Nicki Minaj and seeing what she looks like and having a general understanding of the type of music she makes, you're probably left with one very significant impression. And that is, this is a person that I want to take medical advice from. If there is anybody on planet Earth that can give me succinct and accurate medical information, Nicki Minaj is the one to do it. At least that was the impression I was left with, especially considering Nicki Minaj's recent tweets. That's right. We're beginning on this hellscape known as Twitter. We go down the list of my notes. So, Nicki Minaj went on a big-ass tirade against vaccines. First, she decided not to go to the Met Gala. Oh, no. Oh, no. You're telling me that the Met Gala isn't going to have Nicki Minaj at it? Well, then I'm not even going to watch. I don't even care anymore, dude. I was going to be tuning in for that Nicki Minaj bop. Okay? I was tuning in with my Anaconda. But now that Nicki Minaj isn't going to be here, nah, fuck it, dude. I'm not tuning into the Met Gala. if you watch the Met Gala for real, I hate you, and you should leave the Earth. Go to space. There's places over there too. In Minecraft. Okay, I don't know what to say. Anywho, they want you to get vaccinated for the Met. If I get vaccinated, it won't. Should I read it how it's typed, or should I be nicer in the grammatical mistakes? I mean, it is a tweet, right? It doesn't really matter that much. If I get vaccinated, it won't for the Met. It'll be once I feel I've done enough research. Oh boy, okay. I'm working on that now. In the meantime, my loves, be safe. Wear the mask with 2 strings that grip your head and face, not that loose one. And although Hassan doesn't provide very insightful political commentary, he makes pretty hilarious tweets. The world awaits your wonderful contribution to the scientific community. So true. Honestly, accurate right there. So, yeah, kind of funny, you know, no big deal with this tweet alone. We're not done yet. Don't worry, guys, okay? But this tweet alone, not that bad. Just a little funny that, like, she can't even spell correctly. And she's saying she's too busy to do she's too busy doing research on the effects of the vaccine. Come on. Give me a break, dude. I don't understand. What do you think? Do you think you're going to discover something that all the top scientists and doctors in the world haven't yet discovered? Are you going to be the meme? Are you going to be the meme where it's like, honey, quick, you won't believe this. I found something that all of the world scientists and the FDA missed. Are you going to be that person here? I don't know. It's a little ironic, but she goes a step further by, yes, spreading more or less blatant misinformation about the coronavirus vaccine, and in this case, side effects of the vaccine. So first, she said she's not going to go to the Met because of the vaccine thing. We already heard about that one. And then she goes on to tell this scare story. My cousin in Trinidad won't get the vaccine.
Dizzy?
Yes, I'm
Queasy?
dizzy, and I don't need to hear your ad, okay? Yeah, I'm dizzy and queasy with these tweets, but still, thank you. My cousin in Trinidad won't get the vaccine because his friend got it and became impotent. Oh my God. His testicles became swollen. His friend was weeks away from getting married. Now the girl called off the wedding. So just pray on it and make sure you're comfortable with your decision, not bullied. Okay, yes. Don't be bullied by anybody to get the vaccine, but I would be okay saying that you should be bullied by the facts, logic, and data that exists showing the vaccine is effective. Don't be bullied by your friend. Don't be bullied by people around you. But yes, be bullied by the CDC and the blatant lack of information that you have on your side versus the body of research from all over the globe indicating that the vaccine is majority overall safe. But anywho, this is a really cute story. I really do. I do enjoy it. You know, that's definitely sucks, you know? I wonder what happened. Like, did he get his shot and then all of a sudden he got the biggest balls around? And also, what kind of a bitch wife was this guy gonna have? Maybe it's for the betterment that she called off the wedding. How does he know he's impotent? Is he permanently impotent? Or was it just like a temporary thing? Or was he literally like, ow, oh God, it hurts. Holy shit, honey. Honey, my balls are getting really fucking swollen. Oh my God. Holy shit, babe. There's it's a cantaloupe on one side and a watermelon on the fucking other side. Babe. My scrotum is going to burst. And then all of a sudden, she just runs inside. What's going on, honey? Holy shit, are those your balls? Ah! I'm sorry, honey. With balls like that, there's no way you're still fertile. I'm out, hun. Like, is that what happened here? I don't know. Either way, it's a really cute story. I appreciate it. Sadly, it's really not grounded in any form of reality. We don't even know if it actually had anything to do with the vaccine. Do we actually? Maybe he just got the vaccine and then suddenly, a few days later, had a separate issue. Maybe he was cheating. Maybe someone punched him in the balls. Maybe. Who knows? Okay? Hunter, I just want you to know you're a shill and you sound like it. Hey, Derek Stevens, I'm going to give you about 5 minutes to get into my Discord so we can talk. If you do not show up at my Discord, I will ban you permanently from the chat. Okay? It's really that simple. So yeah, let's go over some of the data here on whether or not it's actually causes infertility. Newsflash, it doesn't, but actually COVID is more likely to cause it. So, one of the biggest myths encircling the vaccine and its alleged long-term effects has to do with fertility. A common theory among those who are vaccine hesitant is that getting the... Jesus Christ, dude. Am I going to get banned for an ad showing someone shaving their pubic hair? Why? I don't want to see this. Okay. Since the start of the pandemic, have you personally seen male patients who have had a COVID-19 diagnosis and are now having issues with infertility? And this doctor, who specializes in this field, says, yes, I can tell you as a reproductive doctor, we do semen analysis on patients. Oh, that sounds like fun. Or when we do insemination by the husband produced in the office, we then check the concentration and stuff similar to that. I can tell you that I have a few unvaccinated patients who got really sick and were admitted to the hospital with COVID. So when they came to give sperm a couple of weeks after they were discharged, they had a lot of sperm, but they were dead. So there's misinformation surrounding the vaccine. The widespread claim has been debunked numerous times by medical experts, with some going as far as to suggest that the virus itself is a reproductive danger. Let's see what we have here. Explore with me. Medical experts continue to assert that COVID vaccines do not impact fertility. Okay. It's a following statement from the American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists, the American Society for Reproductive Medicine, and the Society for Maternal Fetal Medicine. Through the COVID-19 pandemic, patients have had questions about the impact of the virus on their health. Now as the rollout of the COVID vaccines progress, patients similarly have questions about whether the vaccine is right for their individual health needs. As experts in reproductive health, we continue to recommend that the vaccine be available to pregnant individuals. We also assure patients that there is no evidence that the vaccine can lead to loss of fertility. While fertility was not specifically studied in the clinical trials of the vaccine, no loss of fertility has been reported among trial participants or among the millions who have received the vaccines since their authorization, and no signs of infertility appeared in animal studies. Loss of fertility is scientifically unlikely. So, okay, there's a nice little fact for you. There you go, Nicki Minaj. So there you have it. It's really super easy at the end of the day. I'm sorry that your friend had balls the size of water balloons. I really am. That does sound like it would hurt. Personally, I wouldn't want that. But but there you have it. It's just a dumb thing that probably someone had their balls blow up a little bit, and then they blamed it on the vaccine, and now all of a sudden we have Nicki Minaj spreading to her 22 million followers anti-vax bullshit. And it is anti-vax, because here's why. She doesn't have to be anti-vax herself. Her rhetoric is effectively anti-vax, and what it does is further validify and give credence to anti-vax arguments, like myths that it causes infertility. I trust the Japanese a lot more than American doctors. Have you joined my Discord yet, buddy, or do I need to ban you? Because I'd be happy to talk to you about it. I just finished this segment, so now's the time. Derek Stevens, are you in my Discord? I'm looking. I don't see you, unless you have a different name. It's all about the money. Please, please get on. Oh, I'm begging you. You're saying things that are giving me brain rot. Sandra, he will debate me on vaccines. That's true, Sandra. I will. Actually, I'm available whenever you are. I sent you a message on here. Derek Stevens, you have another few seconds to get on, okay, bud? Because you're saying a ton of dumb shit in my chat, and it's giving me an aneurysm. Debate Bro Hunter. I am Debate Bro Hunter. Nikki spreading facts. Get in my Discord, cuck. Oh, I want to talk to this guy so badly. Everything looks fine. Sometimes my internet is still glitching. Please get on so Hunter can get off. No. Let's not, buddy. Come on now. All right. Derek Stevens, the link is down below, buddy. If I see a message next before you get in the Discord and if it's unrelated to the Discord, then I'm going to have to ban you, okay? All right. For now, we're going to talk to Sandra about anti-vax stuff again. Okay. I've changed my... Hello? Uh-oh. We're off to a bumpy start, but it's okay.
So are you doing video or
I'm live right now. Your connection's still breaking up. Do you want to just do a phone call? I could probably call you on Skype. I mean, that might, if you don't, we don't have to, but I'm just trying to think what would establish a stronger connection, because we're not going to be able to debate with your connection right now the way it is. Yeah, I think it's glitching again. Derek Debate Hunter. Seriously, bro. People complaining about vaccine side effects. I don't know. It's not under my control. Okay. All right. All right. I think that we're going to just call this person on Skype via phone. Hunter sliding into the DMs. Stop. No. I'm a married man, you creep. Okay, she's getting it. Oh yeah, I gotta check my TikTok. Make me go viral. Because I think that was pretty sort of kind of funny. Holy shit, he's not even responding. Oh, Derek Stevens was banned. Oh, man. Sorry, buddy. He had more than enough time to get in the Discord and declined. Yep, then he's done for. Who knows? Maybe he'll show up in the Discord after because he'll get so mad about being banned, you know? We'll see. All right. He's ignoring a fellow Twitch streamer. Who am I ignoring? What the heck? Bro, is that TikTok? Yeah, it's my TikTok. Haven't heard someone seriously going to bait me, bro, for quite some time. Then again, sometimes it's justified. It's 100% justified. If someone shows up and says dipshittery in my chat, then I challenge them to a debate. And if they don't show up, I ban them. I got banned from the vegan yeeters. Someone was complaining that they got banned from my Discord because they wrecked me with facts and logic when really they were actually trolls. I'm getting hungry. Can I ask you a question as a fellow Twitch streamer? Sure, please do. What's up? We get faster and better internet in Indian villages. Why the frick aren't you vegan yet? I am vegan. What are you talking about? He won't respond unless you pay him money. That's not even true. How long did it take for you to get viewers? I don't really have any viewers on Twitch yet, but just slow and steady. As a self-employed person, do you get your health insurance or do you qualify for subsidy? Well, I'm not 26, so I'm still my parents right now. Okay. Come on. We're all just sitting here waiting. Worst case scenario, Hunter just takes his sword and... Wait, it moved. Oh, and hunts them Witcher style. Face me, you anti-vax heathens. Do you think Maya is cute? Who's Maya? Let's talk about movies now. Who's your favorite vegan YouTuber? Me. I've been out of the loop for 3 months. My apologies. Shame on you. No, I'm just kidding. That's okay. That explains the lack of testosterone. That's funny, pal. It's cute, honestly. Hunter the anti-vax slayer. Well, we're gonna see. We'll see what happens here. You never know. Well, you're certainly the hottest vegan YouTuber. That's true. Okay, I'm gonna try again later? What's the problem here? Oh. Okay, this is off screen here. Uh-oh. You know what? Fine. Fuck you. We'll do it. We'll pay $2 a month to reach Germany. Okay. We'll do it. Fine. Bruh. This doesn't make sense. Then why would I upgrade it? Yeah, this isn't gonna work. This is gonna put me... Oh, fuck. Okay, wait. Now I can call the number, it says. What? It says I can call and then won't let me call. This is bullshit. Yeah, it doesn't work. They're saying I have to buy credits. Credits, guys. To make a call. Call phones around the world at affordable rates with Skype credit. Hold on. Hello? Ow. Come on. How hard is it to answer the phone? Hunter has to deal with so much bullshit. I'm just trying to set up. I'm just trying to get one call here because this person's been saying a lot of stuff on my Twitter and yeah, it's not working. This is annoying right now. All right, hold on. All right. Sorry, guys. Forget it. Eric, if you read, you know Hunter will be right back. Also, are you in the debate waiting room? Oh, is someone talking shit over here? I don't know why it's not working, but it will. Not a big deal. Okay. I don't know how they're gonna call me. Eric versus Hunter Avalon. Who is Eric? Where are you, Eric? Where is this vegan nerd? Oh boy. Hello.
Hello, Kyle.
Are you here to debate me or are you here to troll?
Debate. Moore's Law. Get him in the VC. He's with me.
The other guy? Wait, didn't I already talk to you people?
Nope.
Are you the same people that I already talked to that were blasting the music claiming to be the Christians?
Oh, what's up, Hunter, my man?
Yeah, sorry guys, I'm pretty sure you're
Um,
trolling, so.
No, actually, seriously.
Okay, alright. Cool. Please just respect TOS then. What do you guys want to talk about?
I'm watching the stream this time.
Okay, so what did you want to talk about?
COVID.
Hello?
Yes.
Yeah, you guys are the same people who sit here, don't make arguments, and then when I call you out, you start saying a bunch of shit. Bye.
But no, please, Hunter, come on.
Well, do you want to argue or do you want to just sit here? What's up?
Yes, I do.
Okay, what's going on? Tell me what's up.
Personally, I would say that, Joe Rogan?
Uh-huh.
Didn't he do that, like, horse thing? Like a horse medicine?
Yeah, ivermectin.
Ivermectin. I would say ivermectin is a more viable option instead of a vaccine,
Why?
personally.
So why?
Well, didn't he, like, get cured?
I don't know. Just if he got better quickly. I mean, he's a pretty healthy, fit guy.
He did get cured.
Okay,
He's pretty
he
fucking
got
sexy,
better.
to be honest.
He didn't get cured. We don't
He
know if
did.
ivermectin had anything to do with it at all because we've actually had real studies that have
He hasn't
compared
been
this.
vaccinated, though.
Yeah, he hasn't been vaccinated and he's good.
And that ivermectin did help him.
Do you have proof that it was the ivermectin that helped him?
Give me 2 seconds. Do you know how to spell ivermectin?
Me?
Yeah, I don't know how to spell that.
All right, well, hold on. Joe Rogan says he has COVID.
But the ivermectin.
Oh,
for
okay,
him.
yeah. Apparently you've already posted that you're trolling on your channel, so. All right. I will try once again. Nope, it's just straight beeping. Oh boy. Oops. Hello. Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Can you? I can't hear you then? I think your mic might be muted because all my shit's hooked up properly. Make sure you don't have push to talk on. Hunter, you can't win a debate versus me and Eric. Oh my god, you guys. Are you keeping up with the California recall? Not exactly, no. Okay. Checking settings. How do people stream for so long without getting back pain? Can someone help me out with that? Because it starts to like really get uncomfortable, you know? All right. I think we're going to go ahead and make my vegan Burger King order now because I'm getting real hungry. Well, maybe we'll do that at 4. I'll wait a little longer. I have voice activity. Okay, unmute yourself then and try again. Hello. Do you have like the laptop mic muted or something? Do you have maybe the wrong output or input device on in your settings, perhaps? Hunter, you can't win any debate. People change their own minds. You just provide a framework for them to change. I'm not trying. Usually the people that I'm debating, I'm not even really that focused on changing their mind directly. It's more about the people watching, and I change a lot of minds that way. I want some Burger King. Burger King is ass. What the? Don't you... All right, well, I'm going to try to call you back then. It says you're muted. Hello? All right, yeah, sorry. Can't hear you. All right, have a good one. All right, forget it. Hopefully someone else shows up that wants to argue with me on vaccine stuff because I have yet to be proven wrong. Sarah, thanks for the $5. Look up slouching stretches. Helped me a lot as an artist. I'm always slouching and have back pain because of it. Really helps. So do I just have to sit up straight like this? Okay. That's cool. Are you getting shadow banned? No. We need to move on to the next topic now. Okay. Speaking of veganism, why don't we jump into it, you know? And you know what? It's 3 in the afternoon. My family's gone. My wife is with the kids, away with her mom for a little while. I think now might be a good time to fucking hit my bong. Who's with me here, geez? And you know what? It is time to make the Burger King order. Fuck it! That sounds like a good debate I'd be willing to hear. I'm not debating... No, I'm not debating Burger King versus anything, alright? Sorry. I'm allergic to weed. Oh! I'm so sorry, man. Alright. Let's get the Impossible Whopper. Nice. We'll go ahead and remove the tomatoes. Not really a fan of the tomato, you know? No tomato. Thank you. So we'll do that. Then we'll add the French fries. Make a weed burger. You know what? That would be pretty good. Alright. Is there not a way to ask for sauces? Come on! How am I supposed to get sauces around here? The guy who just freaks out when he can't order his sauces. Oh, pickup only. This is lame. Do you have a medical card? I do have a medical card, yes. That's because although I will never lie and say that I don't enjoy weed. I absolutely do enjoy it. I do also use it for its medicinal purposes, particularly my help with focus, ADHD, stuff like that. Veggie King. That's me. Feudalist Hunter. Burger King canceled. All right, hold on. This person's typing again. Do you want to try again to talk? Are you sure you don't have it on the wrong output or input device? All right, I don't know. You might just have to literally just shut down and restart your Discord completely. But okay. Smoke weed every day. Hell yeah. Let's do this and then we'll move on to Tucker Carlson, veganism. We got some other fun topics to hit on. And as always, if you want to help support the channel, now's the time to do it, man. Cool. So there's also show me your nugs on stream. I don't know. Am I able to do that? That might be against the rules. All I know is we are in for a fun stream now. And also, so okay. I have some shit I want to talk about, and I think that now might be the best time to actually go over this because it's kind of like a fun thing that we can kind of watch at the same time and then, you know, pause it, talk about other stuff, go back to it, keep watching it. You know, that way there's never a dull moment. And that's this politically provoked debate. So apparently, you've heard me talk about Politically Provoked channel before. That's where Big Papa Fascist came from. Oh, wait, hold on. Hello. Wow, 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 wow. Yeah, it's broken. Sorry. I don't know what's wrong. But it's not working. So yeah, Politically Provoked is where Big Papa Fascist came from. And what happened was after Big Papa Fascist got kicked out, I don't know if you guys knew this, but Big Papa Fascist kicked off the channel now. And he was taking over. The new head debater is this guy named Mayo. Which is very hilarious considering that he's like a Groiper type and he even sounds like Mayo. Like his name's Mayo. Mayo, like come on. Come on. It's hilarious. And basically this guy red-pilled Brittany from Politically Provoked. The main mod, the blonde girl, apparently now she's like moved over more to the right now because, and I'll explain why. All because this Mayo cake guy made some like hypothetical thing where it's like, what are you gonna do? The little Timmy question. What are you gonna do if little Timmy is not, or if little Timmy's in class and he's bullied for being white or something? It's like the same thing you would do if someone was being bullied for being black. Make sure it doesn't happen, and if it does, hold those people accountable. Plus, if you actually look at literal data points, you'll see that racial equality is growing. It's very unlikely that that's going to happen. But anyway, Brittany from Politically Provoked actually did a fucking debate with someone Oh wait, I'm gonna get an ad here, so hold on. And apparently she just got BTFO'd. I don't know. I just thought it'd be something interesting to listen to, you know? So who's with me? We'll play it here. We'll watch it while I'm eating my food because it's gonna be here soon. I'm getting hungry. And you know, it's just kind of a hangout stream right now. But this is gonna be really fun. So apparently Brittany is like, oh my god, guys, like who the fuck is like the white nationalist actually, right? Like, I mean, really, guys? Oh my god. Oops. Everyone's gonna. I know, chat instantly. I can't hear anything. I can't. Where's the here? I can't hear anything. It's okay. I know. I got it. Okay. I fixed it.
From his line
No,
of
it
questioning.
made me have to
Well,
sit there
I
and
don't
keep
care about
like
that. I don't care
that.
about that. Brittany, please. I don't care about that.
Both Groypers, Nazis, liberals, lefties. That means that the symmetry breaker between Groypers and Nazis
Why do you
can't
talk
be
like
their
this, by the way?
opposites.
Why do you talk like this? Who
Oh,
talks
God.
like this?
What do you mean?
I don't know, you just talk
Answer his
weird.
question.
It's just, he's talking weird. Like, it's very bizarre the way he
It-
talks.
He's talking
Like,
intelligently.
nobody fucking talks like this. It's just weird.
But come,
This is
Brittany,
just
don't
how
pivot,
like a
please.
I
yeah.
know, it's
Answer his
weird.
question.
Okay, I hear people talk every single day, and like people don't talk like this.
I would
That's
pay
embarrassing.
money to debate this.
No,
woman.
it's true. He's fucking doing like it's weird. It's
I
like
would
he's
pay
trying a
money
little
to
too
debate this
hard.
girl. We just like.
I am trying my very best to communicate in a way that you
No,
understand.
you know, I see. I like, and like you did this also with BPF. It's like you do this like this weird thing where you're like trying to like fuck. I don't know. But go ahead. You can keep
Okay.
doing it.
This is how you know. Okay, I don't think we need to watch anymore. This is obviously somebody losing the debate. You talk weird. Oh my god, it's even better than I thought it would be.
Doing what?
Go ahead. Say what you were saying.
Okay. For the third time, you want me to re-explain the thing that everyone but you
yes.
understands?
Yes.
If the difference between Groypers and Nazis
Mhm.
is their optical usage of rhetoric,
Mhm.
and then you say that everyone has an optical foil or an optical film for their rhetoric,
Mhm.
then how is the difference between Groypers and Nazis the optical film?
How's the difference between the Groypers and the Nazis?
Also, to Andrew's credit, he never made fun of the way that I talk, because that gets dangerously close to you basically just throwing in the white flag and saying, I don't get what he says.
No, I know what you're saying, but I see what you're doing too.
What?
I guess calmly explaining things is not your style.
Okay. No, I don't think that
I
there's
like that.
a
That's
problem
funny.
when people are trying to be optical. I don't think there's a problem. I think everybody does it. And so acting like that the Groypers do it makes them the same as a Nazi or whatever. I just don't think that you would be able to judge that just by talking to them in general or looking at them or being in the server, that you would automatically know that.
What?
Right. I agree with you.
Oh
But
my
the pro-
god. This is like going the fucking most annoying
It's
circles
the-
ever.
The only reason why we're
This
going
is
in circles
exactly
is
how I
because
think
you
a dumb
refuse to leave the
blonde
circle.
bimbo would argue,
No,
and that's
because you just
exactly
keep
what
going
she
in
is.
circles.
The
It's
only reason why
because-
we're going in circles is because every time I ask the simplest version of the question that I
Because
could
you're not
possibly
giving the
muster.
answers you want.
No, it's not even
You
just an
keep
answer that I
trying to get me
want.
to give these answers
I-
that you want,
if
and I'm
I-
not giving them to you, and so you just keep
if I-
going back in circles and over and over fucking again.
Oh my
If I
god,
ask
how
you
did
the
I not see
difference
this
between A
sooner?
and B, and you say, I don't like how you asked me that question, I think you're using debate tactics. That's not an answer.
Is Hunter playing
That's a
music?
deflection
No, that's
off
in the
point
stream.
because you can't answer the question because you know that your
No,
position
because
is
this has been
untenable.
going on for like way too long, and you just keep doing this fucking weird game with me.
It's been like 10 minutes. Calm
No,
down.
it hasn't.
I've maybe asked this question like 3 times in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
It's really not been that long, that significant portion of your life. I guarantee it.
Okay. Well,
Oh
I'm
my
gonna give you the same
God.
answer every time. I don't think it's the same, and I don't know what else to tell you about that.
Okay, well, you don't have to say anything else about it. I think we can leave it at the mercy of the audience as to whose questions were unintelligible and who was answering the questions honestly.
I didn't ask you any questions.
Right,
So-
but I asked you questions.
Oh,
and
I
that's what
know
was
you
referring
did.
to.
The same ones over and over fucking again.
Oh my god.
Trying to get the
Re-
answer you want.
This is the
rephrase
combo
differently
where
to hope
Brittany
that
got
you
No,
red
you were
pilled.
trying to get
no,
me to say
no,
the things that you
stop.
want.
What are you? No, this is not the convo where Brittany got red pilled. This is the convo where she lost the debate to this guy because apparently just being asked simple questions is causing her to like fucking melt down.
And I'm not. And I just.
What do you think he was trying to get
It's
you to
literally.
say? Real
Have you
quick.
guys seen this girl? Hold on. She argues exactly how you would expect it. All right, hold on. Let me see. Exactly how you would expect it, honestly.
We are doing it now. So
Yep.
let's bring on our guests. Brand new to Politically Provoked. Let's bring on Ethical Austrian. How do you?
Hi, everyone. I'm glad to be here.
So yeah, if you want to introduce yourself, tell people where you lie on the political spectrum.
So that's Brittany, by the way. Like I said, just you know, listen to her talk. Now you're listening to her debate. She kind of gives off the dumb bimbo vibe. Sorry.
Because this
He's trying
conversation
to trap
is
me into,
now.
He's trying to trap me into saying that they're the same, and I don't think that they are.
Okay, so
Trap
why do
them.
you think that he was trying to do that?
Because
like,
he
how
wants
do you
me
think
to
he was?
say that they're
well,
the fucking same.
No, let me rephrase that. Not why.
He's
How
telling.
do you
He's
think he
trying
was
to
trying
say,
to do that?
Because he's trying to say that just because they're optically, they're trying to be aware of their optics, that doesn't matter, and that they're still the same. And I'm saying that I think it does matter because you
That's
wouldn't
not my
know.
point.
Well, then what is your point?
My point is that your standard for
Huh? Can I go anywhere without having a glitch? Holy shit. What just happened? Oh, it's gonna come back in a minute.
And that they're still the same. And I'm saying that I think it does matter because you
that's
wouldn't
not my
know.
point.
Well, then what is your point?
My point is that your standard for
What the motherfucker? 734.
From his line
No,
of
it
questioning.
made me have to
Well,
sit there
I
and
don't care
fucking
about that. I
like
don't care
that.
about that. Brittany, please. I don't care about that. What I
Okay,
this
just
is what I would ask you. All right. So, do you think that?
So what are they
not-
debating? Do we? I don't know where it begins. It sounds like she's just saying that the. How long ago does it go?
Too far. Didn't seem like she was doing any of like the Jew.
Where does the combo begin?
a dumpster fire.
No, I don't care. I didn't care.
Okay, here we go.
It wasn't
He's-
even
yeah,
Blood Party.
I was
Come until way, 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 way later.
All right, let's start it at the beginning.
I don't own Psychonauts 2 Internet Gas. To me, and I'll step in, but like in general, I'm just gonna be kind of vibing.
I want to.
No.
Is there a way I can change my name so that your people don't freaking? Okay, good. Here we go. Not Brittany. There we
Yeah,
go.
that's gonna fucking disgust.
that'll throw him off the trail, right?
That'll do it. Nobody will see that coming.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
you were saying some stuff in chat about something me not wanting to debate or doing a bad job of debating or
Oh
something.
yeah, you
like
did a
that.
horrible job. Then you went in hiding after like not saying anything because you got blown the fuck out and left Sanzel to fight and fend for himself like a terrible friend. So he was off there fending them both off.
This is the
and you
beginning,
just
okay?
sat
I'm
I did
lost
a pretty
like you
good
guys.
job. All right.
You did okay, but you still lost.
I don't think I lost.
You did.
I still think that guy at the very beginning saying that blue states have horrible GDPs because there's too many brown people, and at the end saying that he would refuse to ever talk to me because I don't have 1,000 viewers average is fucking hilarious. And
That debate was probably, I think, Mio's best debate. If I'm remembering it correctly, I believe that was his best
Not-
debate.
not exact-
not at
not exactly
all,
a high
because
bar.
Yeah.
No, because he had to keep on hiding behind the other guy who had to come in and
No,
like.
he was handling the whole thing. I think
No,
the
because
sugar-
every single time he got backed into a corner, he had
to.
to hide. The other guy had to jump in and save him from like from the edge of ruin.
No,
That's like
it was
that.
pretty
Like
much
that's
all Neo.
100%.
There's just like
No,
arguing
because,
their own
like, he
perception.
We
got
should watch
super
it sometime
fast.
then. We should watch it sometime on stream. I'll
Did
watch
Destiny
it with you
debate
guys. We
Mayo?
can all judge.
Destiny's debated Mayo multiple times, and it's every time was hilarious. And the guy showed how ignorant and stupid he was.
Wait, I do want to.
That's why, like, if you actually listen to him debate Destiny, and then you think that's the guy that red pilled Brittany, it instantly makes you think lesser of Brittany.
For it.
Right, so I guess the two big things were that like I stopped talking and stopped debating and left Sonsol to do a very good job, and I guess you said went and hid. I'm not exactly sure what that means. I stayed on the stream.
You
the entire
literally,
time.
yeah, no, you stayed on the stream, didn't say a word, was sulking the whole time, and then did like this little pouty exit freaking saying, and then you left the server, disappeared, blocked me, never to be. It was the most ridiculous thing ever. Neil bullied you out of the server. That's how bad it got.
I'd imagine.
Yeah, because of Nazis, because the Nazis didn't come until way, 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 way later.
Wait, so I want to understand something. Your problem with me is that I sat there and did nothing, but that's your style of moderation.
I wasn't the one debating. What?
No, I understand that, but if you're saying that your problem with my performance is that I sat and let Sonsol take care of it,
yeah, you were supposed to be the one helping him debate.
You do the same thing routinely in your moderation techniques.
Yeah,
You sit and let the debaters take care of it.
okay, no, that's not the same from somebody who's supposed to be debating and somebody who's just like there to make sure there's not like really over talking.
So this
Brittany, of course it's
begins.
not the
All
same,
right,
it's
so
another-
instantly this begins like extremely hostile. You know what? Am I friends with this chick? I'll gladly debate her.
That's how analogies work. They're different, but they have one core thing that makes them similar.
That doesn't freaking equate at all, though. They would have to have some
You're right,
kind of
it's-
like.
It's not an equivocation.
Oh
You're right.
God, for the this guy is killing me. This is why you probably shouldn't
Holy
debate.
shit, guys!
Oh
6
my
days ago,
God.
Politically Provoked had
This is
Richard
awesome.
Spencer on. Interview with Richard Spencer. Wait, you're telling me they haven't done... Oh, wait, no, they did other interviews too, but come on. Wonder what kind of questions were asked.
Is clearly in decline, and I think it's lost a great deal of legitimacy. 5-10 years from now, are you going to have something to communicate to people 10 years from now? And I certainly hope that I will.
Speaking of that, what do you think America looks like 10 years from now?
Well, I would say this. I think we are headed for a very serious collapse at some point.
Oh my God.
Almost depressing. It is dumb at the end of the day. And it's not something that if I were coming to this when I was a young, more idealistic person wanting to dedicate my life to something, I would not want to dedicate my life to what the alt-right is now.
Well, at least he shits on it.
Who are determining what will be a best order. They're the Silver Soul people, or kind of auxiliaries, like the
Did they talk about Jews? It's just kind of weird. Yeah, you have like the most famous alt-right white supremacist neo-Nazi guy on your platform, and it's not even like a bit of pushback, but just like this comfy little chill thing where you're like, so how bad do you think it's going to be when white people cease to exist? And then you let them like spiel off and you're like, that's nice. So anyway,
I'm really confused as to why you're going like a mile a minute here. I don't really get it. All I'm saying is that if your problem with my performance was that you don't think it's acceptable on a debate stream to sit back after you felt the conversation was not useful,
I wasn't
then
debating, guys.
I was
I'm the
comparing that to
left-wing
what you
host
do in your
and always the
moderation strategy. I'm not
bridesmaid,
saying it's
never
the same as
bride.
debating. It's the same tactic.
What are you talking about? What the hell does that even mean? No, it's not. You're literally, for me, I would have to be talking. That would have to be my role. That was supposed to be your role.
My role was supposed to be to do what exactly?
To actually talk.
Now, I think that she's attacking him for a very dumb reason, but I feel like he's being kind of weird about, like, if you're the moderator, of course you're not going to be talking as much. That's obvious, right? Like, of course. But I don't know.
Okay. Well, I did.
For 2 minutes, and then he left Sanzel to do the rest.
Well, it was actually probably
wouldn't
more
it
like
been a big deal? Actually,
15
wouldn't
or
it
20.
been a big deal? But the fact that you ran off and, like, I'm surprised you didn't change your name. Like, it was like so dramatic, and then blocked me as if there was some like
anyone can watch the stream. All I said is that I didn't think the conversation was productive, and I think anyone who watched that
because
could
you
have
didn't have
saw it.
anything to say, and they were blowing you the fuck out.
That's not why it wasn't productive.
Right.
Not at
okay.
all.
Sure.
No,
Sure.
because okay,
You
so
guys
the reason,
knew what
really
the
quick,
topic
Brittany.
was. Wait, hold
No.
on. You guys knew what the topic was.
No, we knew what the topic was, but
the
this is the
great
problem.
Replacement. The great
Right,
replacement.
no,
in
but
what
you
world
hold blood
would you
sports
guys-
debates really quick. You hold
Mhm.
blood sports debates, right?
Okay.
And he doesn't do blood sports debates.
It wasn't
He's-
even blood
Then why would you
I
agree
was
to do
actually,
it,
to
though?
be fair,
100%
Brittany,
was. But
Okay, Brittany's dumb AF, yeah, but, like, if I'm just based on the very limited understanding I have of what actually happened here, kind of sounds like, I mean, if it's blood sports and he doesn't do blood sports, then why would he go on the panel known for doing blood sports? Kind of does make the point for Brittany.
sports. Are you kidding me?
The invitation that I received from you, at least when we had first had the conversation, it made it seem, and I'd watched no other debates from, and that's maybe my mistake that I didn't watch any of your other.
So you didn't know who
content
BPF was. You didn't know who BPF was, but right before you had debated him, like right before. Yeah, that sounds like a huge lie.
I think I can know who BPF is and not know who y'all are.
What are you talking about? He never did anything without me. He had never done anything without me at that point.
I talked to him on this stream without you.
Yeah, but you knew who he was before you talked to him.
No, I didn't.
She sounds
Yes, you did. You
furious.
obviously did.
The only thing that I knew about him is that he talked to Vosh
Oh my god,
before I
with
talked to
me.
him. No, that's literally true.
Is this even a debate at this point? Not at the moment, no, but
I
it's
had
going to
no
escalate
idea
more.
who Andrew was until I talked to him about biology in Sansol's stream, and I was like, "Oh, that's the guy from the Vosh video." And then I was talking
Oh,
to
then
him.
you saw him. So then you saw our
then-
stuff.
And because BPF was talking to Sansol before I even came in the stream. So
And you
you're-
talked to
you're-
him like you
you're-
knew who he was. You had known who this guy was.
No, I
You're-
didn't.
Oh
I-
my
I
god,
didn't
you're such a
know.
liar.
He didn't. No,
I did
he
not know.
the only reason he came into the call is because BPF got super triggered at him in chat, and then
And then he literally told me to come in because he wanted to talk to me about my claims about biology and trans people.
Okay, sure.
But the problem is that you say these things with such confidence, and yet back them with such little substance. That's
Well,
really
where's
concerning.
the debate? Where's the debate you guys had?
well, I was just typing this in the chat, but now I can say it out loud.
Hey, Leon, how is this content, watching a debate, smoking weed, not saying anything? Dude, I've been doing, like, content for the last hour and a half. I'm taking a little bit of a chill. When you do a long stream like I'm going to be doing for, like, 5, 6, 7 hours, you take it slow. You do take breaks and listen to other stuff. It's fun to do it that way, okay? That's what a long stream is. Of course, I wouldn't expect you to know that because it sounds like you're a mindless hater. Please, would you show up on the Discord, buddy? Because then, hey, then we will have some content. This Brittany person sounds really annoying. Yeah, hey, Brittany. Brittany, I don't think I have you on Discord anymore or something. I don't know. I think that, no offense, I think you're really dumb. And I would like to debate you on your recent change of position. Please.
I don't have access to my fucking editing software right now, so I can't post anything. I was on this really good roll of editing shit and posting shit, and
Plus,
then
I'm curious
I
about this
can't-
debate.
Like, I have like 3 things that have been edited, but I can't render them and then post them to YouTube because the editing software is not at my disposal.
I mean, you don't even have to take my. You can talk to. You can talk
I mean,
to Andrew.
the VOD is still up, I think. Like, people
Is
can
it?
go and find it.
Let's find it.
Yeah, because I mean, I guess what confuses me
I don't remember
is
what day it was.
what was this whole point was spawned from? This whole point was spawned from you being upset that I didn't engage in the way that you wanted me to on a stream that I thought would be a debate, not a dumpster fire.
No, I don't care. I didn't care that you didn't end up holding your own or whatever. That happens with people. The fact that you had to run off and like leave the server and block me was the most dramatic reaction ever. And then now you come in here with like your mod powers and just go freaking ham, like just from my existence in here, start banning me and muting me and
My
banning
mods
me and
were.
muting
Hey,
me.
Brittany, my
No,
mods were
it's
doing
not,
that.
It's not something
Wait,
you should brag about that your
No, no,
mods
no.
power trip.
Yeah,
Wait,
okay,
hold
number
on.
one, there's a
Holy
difference.
shit.
They power
I really want to say
trap.
this really quick, Christian.
Okay.
Number one, mods aren't power tripping because that is like a completely different thing. All right.
They are.
They aren't, right? That's just
They
what happens in my chat, right? And also, you were getting banned and timed out performatively from my chat well before Christian was a mod. All right, so like,
No,
let's
wait
not
a minute.
pretend.
Really, Brittany, really
okay,
quickly,
wait, no,
I have to clear
Yeah, I'm
Wait,
scared
shut
of
up.
my
Let me
stepdad.
finish
No,
up.
Besides,
No,
after I'm done
Brittany,
taking
no,
my
wait,
table,
Wait,
I'm
no,
gonna
Chris,
go on-
let
I'm gonna
Christian
pause
go
this
really
and
quick,
go
and
on
then
different topic.
I interrupted him.
because
So let him
because
talk.
I'm the one that banned you the first. I'm the one that banned you today, right? And I want to justify that ban. I saw your account. I know from previous streams that Politically Provoked is banned in this stream. I typed in chat specifically and said, "Hey, Politically Provoked is here," and I said, "Aren't their main account banned?" And then I looked at it, saw that you typed again, and I made the call as a moderator to say, if there is an account that is banned on the main and there is a sub account that's inside of chat, it's not unreasonable to ban you. The second time,
Literally, we had been sitting there for 2 hours. If Sonzel knew I was there, if I was gonna be
This just
banned,
sounds
they
like
would have
people
banned me.
raging.
Like,
right,
what
Brittany,
the fuck?
Brittany, I just got there. I
Well,
just
then
got.
maybe you should do a little more homework before you start banning people.
I think it's a
Dude,
reasonable
what, does she
inference
really
to
want
see
to
an
be part of
account
that
that's banned
Discord
on the
server?
main
Like,
and then
what's
to
the
ban
deal,
that
man?
sub
So,
account.
why the fuck is my account still banned on the main? Like, undo that.
Holy
What I'm
shit!
saying, you'd be mad.
Just
That's
don't do
literally the
that.
only reason.
Undo
If you
it.
weren't, but if you weren't so mad, it would probably be unbanned now. I have a very, very liberal unban policy. All right.
Undo it.
Well, now I'm not going to do it because you're demanding it of me. I'll do it on my own goddamn time. Right?
Oh,
It's
come
not
Like,
on.
it's just
It's-
like the
it's
way
a
you go
lie.
about it. It's the,
Just like
it's the way
trying to
you're
get
going
around
about
it.
it.
For like
That's his
weeks.
point.
Like, okay, funny, all right, it's over.
What are you fucking
Well,
gay?
yeah, shoot me a message on Discord and I'll do it tomorrow, right? Because I have to go in and I have to fucking find your name in the fucking list, and then I have to yeah. So I also have like
And I
incredibly.
forget what the reason they put like Nazi. That was the reasoning for being banned.
Yeah,
Nazi.
this is funny
Mm.
because it makes you so mad. That's the reason that it's so
Mm.
fucking funny.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't know, like I don't know why you
so-
think I'm lying. If I wanted to lie, I'd be like, oh, I don't know why we have you banned. Here, let me fix that. But no, it's literally just because you're so fucking mad about it. Just like every single person that gets mad about it, like Ridiculous TV gets fucking performatively banned all the fucking time. So does J Leet Sauce.
Also-
so does like half of my fucking chat, unless they're a mod, which
I've
I
been
would have
banned
to.
4 times, Brittany, and I'm a moderator.
Yeah, you have. You stupid fuck. Fucking
It is
Rick-rolling me.
It is absolutely absurd for you to come in here and be upset and mad about your main account being banned. When as a moderator, I've been banned on 4 separate occasions, and I've never once bitched and cried about it. I've
Dude, they're
performatively
literally
cried
banned
about it.
plenty of times, and I'm getting banned in chats like all over freaking Twitch.
Well, that's
the
because
same
you're going.
mods.
But do you understand
Well,
why? Really quick, I'm
It's
going
because
to
the
like talk
same
to.
mods in every single fucking Twitch chat. What
no,
the hell?
it's
You
not.
guys like incest or something?
What?
Well, oof,
Incest
that's
is
a
when
hard-
moderators share streams, folks. That's
All right. Woo! That was a big ass hit. Am I okay, Hunter? You good? Yeah. So, my Burger King is going to be here soon. And when I eat, we're going to watch that debate some more. But first, I want to talk a little bit about our boy. Oops. Our boy, Tucker Carlson. Now, Tucker Carlson made the mistake of going on Dave Rubin's show. As we know, considering the fact that Dave Rubin is a moron, it's always a mistake to go on that guy's show. Oh, wait. My food just got here. Oh, shit. Oh, fuck. What do I do? You know what? What time is it? It's only 3:40. You know what? Yeah, fuck it. Can we watch JCS videos? I kind of want to keep watching that debate personally. Because what's going to happen is we're going to start this and we're not going to finish it. But, okay. Gonna go get my food, guys. Hold on a minute, okay? Don't go anywhere. I love you all, please. All right. Mukbang time. You're right. That's right, boys and girls. Excuse me. All right, we're going to just keep on listening to this debate. You got your Burger King? I fucking got my Burger King, boys.
That's what incest is.
Yes, you guys get it now.
Okay, listen, I'm going to like actually appeal to you really quick. I really want you to understand this. The reason you get banned from places is because you are going into chats and getting mad about like cancel culture, and then people will either performatively ban you like my chat does, or they will fucking just get annoyed with the fact that you're bitching about other streamers.
I don't feel like that's a very good excuse, personally, just if I'm being fair. If I'm going to be charitable to Brittany at all, I already said I think she's like a dumb bimbo, but because she is. But I mean, to be fair, it doesn't sound like a very good reason.
On their in their chat.
No. That's not what's happening. What's happening is I go into chats. I'm getting banned for literally absolutely nothing. Like I went to
or because they don't want to deal with you because they know the reputation.
I went in there. I just followed his account. I hit follow, and you know you get the alert that somebody's following you, and so
Wait,
they start.
You did this where?
In Wicked Supreme. I hadn't heard of him.
Well, Wicked Supreme doesn't want to talk to
me.
Okay,
can I finish a sentence ever?
Sorry, I was talking to myself there.
I mean, if
I know
Wicked
Wicked Supreme. I think
we
he was on a panel with me.
Okay,
go ahead, Brittany. Talk.
Thank you.
So mad.
Yeah,
Holy shit.
I've never heard of this guy until the whole Prime thing, and so I thought he might be somewhat like normal. And I go in and I follow it because he had like I think a followers only chat, and he gets the alert and he starts talking shit. Then his whole chat starts talking shit, and so I go to defend myself, and then I get fucking banned. And that's happened in multiple streams with Aiko or whatever the hell her name is, the stoner chick.
Yeah, Aiko isn't going to be a person that wants to talk to you either.
Don't be
She was
dissing
doing
stoners,
an entire
okay?
fucking stream on something about me. Somebody messaged, they
haven't eaten
DM me
anything all
about
day,
it. So I
so-
go to her chat and I just type LOL and I get banned. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Can I?
Well,
do
again,
you think that people owe
If
you a
people
voice
are
on
gonna
their
talk
platform?
shit, if people are gonna say something or do streams about you or do something, they should at least give you the opportunity to defend
I can
yourself.
understand her
Where
frustration.
does that standard come from? How
Where
would you
does that
justify
standard
that
come
standard?
from? That should just be a normal standard. Like if I was talking shit about somebody, I would at least let them defend themselves. I'm not
I
gonna
get
talk
clips
shit and then
from-
ban them like a coward.
I get clips from y'all's stream all the time where you guys are
I
talking
ever
shit in
banned
your
you?
drunken chat. Huh?
Have I ever banned you from our chat?
I assume that I'm banned from ever defending myself in y'all's show.
I've
yeah.
never once said that you were banned for defending yourself. I don't ban anybody from our chats.
Oh, okay. Well,
Well, that might be part of the problem.
No, I don't think it is.
Brittany, you might want to get some brain cells.
And
Good
I,
one,
like, I let
yes.
people talk shit in our chats. I don't care. I'm not like. We have a lot of different views.
Do you think there's a distinction between talking shit and propagating conspiracy theories?
Yeah,
Okay. Would you ban someone if they propagated a conspiracy theory?
probably not.
Well, at least there's not a mask, right?
Right.
Well,
The only way I would ban somebody is if they were actually trying to get us shut down of some sort.
Okay, so the only time you'd ban someone is if it was against your self-interest of keeping the channel up.
If they were like going out of their way to try to fuck with the platform, yeah, I would. Absolutely.
Okay. What do you think of Nazi? I wanted to talk about this because I know that you platform a lot of people. You've been accused recently, I guess,
Brittany's
all
gonna
the
make a
time,
good
literally all the
Karen
time,
one
of
day. I
platforming
love
people
you
who
guys.
shouldn't be platformed. What do you think a Nazi is?
A wignat.
what?
Sorry, I don't know if that was an answer or if you said, like, I didn't know what word you said there.
A wignat.
Okay,
White
could you explain to me what that
white
means?
nationalist?
Like a white nationalist.
Okay. And you would say that Mio is not that.
Mew is no. No.
oh no! Like at the very least, he's a white nationalist.
He's no. Well, he's not a Nazi.
He wouldn't argue against the fact that he's a white nationalist.
He's okay. You go like he would be the step right before a wignat.
What would that be?
Groypers.
No, Groypers are white nationalists.
Oh boy. I feel like we have a category error. So you're saying that you can be a Groyper while not being a white nationalist. What is the symmetry breaker? What differentiates the two?
I don't think. Okay, wignats are okay. This is the way I kind of look at these guys. So Groypers are more. They're more optically aware. They want to. They actually really do care about keeping some of the optics and trying. Even though I know like if you think of it from a lefty, it doesn't seem like that because of things that they say. But when you start to kind of dive into it a little bit more, yeah, they actually do somewhat try to
Okay.
be a little bit more optically aware. And the wignats talk shit about the Groypers because they say that it's stupid to even try to attempt to be optically aware because they're still going to end up in the same boat. So like, if Fuentes is still banned from every platform, he's on a no-flyer list. They've confiscated like $500,000 from him. He can't have any payment plans or whatever.
Unfortunately, you've just described why your definition isn't useful.
That plane thing also is bullshit. I'm pretty sure he was kicked off because he violated the mask thing.
Because if the only difference between a Groyper and a white nationalist is how they present their views, the actual views don't change, in which case they are still white nationalists masquerading as better optically, therefore they are actually still Nazis.
This is really
under your own set of
I've always
definitions.
wanted to know what an absolute fucking psychopath thought about Groypers and Nazis.
So when I said that there are people in your Discord who are Nazis, and
Yeah,
we can
except
reduce
no. But there's people. Okay, no.
down to white
Because
nationalism.
wait a minute, hold on. Because the thing is that they would obviously be. You're saying that like what their views are personally. That's not the views that they are actually expressing, though. So you wouldn't know that.
Yeah, so explicit versus implicit is a hard line to deduce, but we can use like abduction. We could say, even though it is the case that we can't formally deduce someone's sets of views, we could abduce that they believe something from the rhetoric that they use, and we can compare the rhetoric that they use to the beliefs of other people who are more open with their beliefs.
You're because you're now like you're basically assuming of what their actual beliefs are without them saying it, and that
unfortunately we have to do that sometimes when you admit that they are being optically dishonest.
Yeah, but you didn't know that.
Well, right, but I'm operating.
Okay, so like you can't sit there and just like make those claims about people if you don't know. Like,
what I'm saying is that under your definition, they are still Nazis.
Hey, Ned Flanders, get in the Discord, please. Now.
Well, they might be like in the closet, have some Nazi-aligned views, but that doesn't, with what we were talking about before, with you saying, oh yeah, there was Nazis in the server, that wasn't the case.
Well, if there were people who were white nationalists in the server, then they were Nazis.
Imagine it's like a gay person in the closet. So yeah, there were probably gays in the server, but like, you didn't know that they were gay.
Yeah, I mean,
So
like,
you
but
would've
you
known
can
that.
kind of, but you can kind of
It's a
tell
very
with
poor
a-
example.
Yeah, that's a poor example because you can't always tell someone is gay by talking to them, but you can tell a Nazi by talking to them.
Actually, here, I'll put it this way. What is it easier to decipher? Someone being a Nazi or someone being homosexual? The fact that you have to think about it is very scary.
Well, I don't know. It could be both. But
Yeah,
but
I
yeah.
keep taking the mask off. This is really entertaining.
Okay, whatever. But no, but with what I like to like think of it as is you know, the way. Actually, no, I'm not gonna say it.
So the problem is that I've accidentally stumbled on homophobia or something like that, but or at least homonormative behavior that you believe there's a certain way to like act gay and like it's easy to recognize.
Oh,
or
give
something.
it a rest. Fucking A.
Well, all I'm saying is like if you have it, if you actually think that there's a comparable case between the rhetoric and noticeability of Nazism and the noticeability of homosexuality.
Yeah, I think the rhetoric actually is like exactly what it is, and you don't know somebody's views if they're not saying them.
Well, right. That's why I'm saying if you talk to them, that's why I explicitly said, like, I'm not saying that I could tell by their fucking profile picture, although some of them have like fucking black suns as their profile picture, so I could tell. But like,
should we take people, Brittany, at their word when they say that they believe X, no matter if we have evidence to the contrary about their actions? Should we always prefer their word over their actions?
I don't know. It depends.
Okay. Well, if it depends, then it's arbitrary. Unless you want to introduce like a standard, right?
I mean, I would need some examples on this.
So like, yeah, sure. So let's say, for example, we're looking at someone who, let's pick a lefty example that you may be more sympathetic to. Let's say you were to have someone who wears communist paraphernalia and they engage in Soviet Union coloring, and they oftentimes make arguments that not only explicitly call for a return to the USSR, but they implicitly make implications to all these sorts of iconography. Is it unfair to criticize that person for being
reaching out to Brittany to see if they want to come
for at least being associated with that in a way that is harmful? Even not even talking about their views. Right. Let's just talk about their association first, and then we can deduce.
How does that compare? How does that compare to what we're talking about? Like, why don't you do the example of how that would align with?
I was hoping that if I didn't go right there, you wouldn't find an excuse to not have it be the case.
No, but I want you to do the side by side.
Right, I'm going to. But I'm saying in that example, is it fair to say?
People really don't understand the break. Hey, what would you guys like better? This or just this? Okay? I happen to be streaming right in the middle of my lunchtime. I haven't eaten anything all day. We're having a little break time for what, 30 minutes? Ned Flanders, get in the Discord or else you will be banned permanently from the chat. It's going to have to be that way. Vosh has more views than Big Papa Fascist, so he's always more right. Correct. That is the logical way to think, my friend.
That person.
Just give the side by side.
Yeah, I am. If we're giving a side by side, then we have to have two examples.
All right, so go.
Right.
What would the Groiper version of that be?
Okay, the Groiper version of that is someone who displays Nazi iconography, or at very least white nationalist iconography.
What does that look like?
You could look at things like the swastika. You could look at things like common phrases used by Nazis and white nationalists. But they haven't done that. Like, for example, Miu.
But no, but the Groipers haven't done that. They don't have like Nazi swastikas or anything.
Right, which is the important. That's the point of the other example, right? Is that if we can't use iconography, then we're left with only the rhetorical part of it. We're left with only the views that they express and the actions they take. Which is why I was drawing a symmetry breaker with your example, because you had said that we should take their word. Maybe we shouldn't. It should be maybe a combination of both. But I'm saying that if we don't have explicit iconography for these Groipers, since we can't use that as evidence, we have to rely more on their actions.
Okay, what are their actions?
So you're proving my point, because you've already admitted that Groipers are optically disingenuous as to bring more people over to their side.
Wait a minute, but hold on. Isn't this the case for so many people? Like, everybody is going to be trying to be optically aware of things. Like, the liberals do it as well. I mean, I guarantee you that there are so many leftists, even in this chat right now, that have a lot of views that they don't say because they know.
The guy she's arguing with, I'm not too sure. I don't know. I feel like I don't really like the approach he's taking very much. I feel like he could be a little bit more charitable in some areas and then make his argument stronger.
No, they cannot say it. Okay, I promise you that's true.
Okay, well,
and every single person in this fucking chat knows it's true.
Calling to somebody else's hypocrisy has nothing to do with what we're talking about.
It does. It's exactly. What are you talking about? Of course it does.
So even if I conceded your point, that still leaves us with the problem of we can call those lefties or liberals who are dishonest in their views. We can condemn that. I'm happy to condemn dishonesty in the presenting of views of lefties and liberals. I'm happy to condemn that. Are you happy to condemn the same thing for your Groipers?
Well, I think that there are way more. I guarantee that the Groipers
The answer is no. Just say no. Don't give any information. Are you willing to condemn, in the same way that I condemn lefties and liberals being dishonest and hiding their positions disingenuously in favor of optics, are you willing to condemn the same thing for Groipers?
Yeah, I think that a lot of the Groipers' views suck. What are you talking about? I've never said that they don't suck.
Yes
which
or no?
parts like so just for like me, I don't want to butt in too much. What parts do you like specifically? Like, would you still disagree with groypers?
Like a lot of the shit that they fucking like support. Are you kidding me?
Well,
there's very few
I'm not
things that
kidding you
I
because
agree with
like
them
a lot
on.
of people are confused about that because it doesn't seem like you offer much pushback whenever y'all talk on the drunken things or like ever that I've seen, right?
The only thing that I really agree with them on is like immigration.
You realize it's like 90% of their politics, right?
I can't believe that you just said that.
That's like 90% of what they care about.
That's like saying, wait, hold on. That's like
It
saying I don't agree
is.
with socialists very much, but I do agree with the socialization of the workplace part, and like the part where they return the means of production to the workers. You've basically defined the core issue of groypers, the core issue of white
the
nationalists.
reasoning why. Like we have different reasons on why we would want to limit.
That's not the core issue of groypers.
Brittany.
Oh,
Can you answer?
Groypers are
I do want to answer that
neo-Nazis.
question that I asked.
It's the JQ.
Are you willing to condemn not their beliefs, their dishonesty and
Immigration is a big part.
No,
but
because I get it. Like, and I think that everybody does it. So it's just, I'm not going to hold people to different standards in that.
Let me
by
debate
keeping the
this
country
person.
we live in a white majority.
Do you also?
And I think that they have way more motivation to do it as well because they're getting banned from every freaking like platform. They're getting isolated from everything. They can't really express their views because like they probably would like to, but they can't.
You are whataboutism.
Huh?
No,
it's just reality.
You're saying what about other cases where this could be applied? Why can we not talk about this example without whatabouting to lefties or to other spaces where they're not welcome?
Because I'm trying to make it like a little bit more relatable so you'd understand. Because you're trying to make me hold them to a different standard here.
I'm trying to make you hold them to the same standard as you would hold lefties and liberals for being dishonest.
No, but I think we all hold lefties and liberals to a different standard because they hold everybody else to these high
Well, we're not
standards.
talking about. That's the thing. We're not talking about everybody holding them to a different standard. We're talking about like specifically you, since you have the platform, right?
You and me, because I'm willing to condemn both levels of dishonesty.
Yeah, but I know that I have people with shitty views that come on my platform. I never deny that.
Brittany, you are going off into the weeds unnecessarily.
What the fuck are you asking of me? I like get to it. Not trying to do this like cryptic freaking like dance around. Just say what you're trying to say.
It's not cryptic.
Yeah, it is.
I can condemn lefties, liberals, righties, and white nationalists for being dishonest and disingenuous with their views. I asked you if you would. If you can, right? Are you saying you can?
Okay, listen to me again. I'm gonna do this slow. I think of it the exact same way with everybody. I understand why people don't go completely mask off with a lot of their views. I understand it. I think it's more interesting when people are more masked off because you don't see that very often. And
there's a difference between optically packaging your beliefs, which is important for public sway, sure, versus hiding your beliefs. That's what needs to be defined there. That's like a huge divide that they're not pointing out.
that's why maybe I'm a little bit drawn to them because they are saying things that like you wouldn't expect somebody to say. And I think that's just, I don't know, it just interests me.
That's the
okay, so for clarification, you don't have a problem with optically changing your views to make them more palatable.
What?
So basically, approach. You need to hone in on the dishonesty part of it.
No, say it again.
Do you have a problem, either side, with people changing the content of their views to be more optically satisfying to the particular audience? Okay, if you don't have a problem with that, then your definition of groypers is really weird, because then it means that they're just the same as white nationalists, because you don't care about their usage of optics.
Wait a minute, hold on. You think that it doesn't... Wait, say that again?
Wait,
If
I'm
your
having a hard
standard
time
for the
following
distinction
this,
between
too.
groypers and white nationalists, or groypers and Nazis, I will say that, right, is that one of them has an optic approach that is different, right? But if you say that you don't care about that and that you think everyone does it, then there's no distinction.
No, I think there is a distinction. Because again, I just literally said to you like 2 seconds ago, every single person does it. The fact that they are more self-aware, that they know that they need to, not say some of like these things, means that they're making a little bit more of an effort than others might be.
Right, and that's a fair point. But remember, it's not that if you're saying that everyone does it, then the symmetry breaker between groypers and Nazis doesn't exist. Because if Nazis do the same thing, because you said everyone does it, then that can't be the distinction between groypers and Nazis.
Okay, will you say that again? I'm like keep blacking out every time you talk.
Okay. If you say that the difference between groypers and Nazis is that one of them has a rhetorical or at least an optical difference in how they present their ideas, and then you turn around and say, but actually everyone has that, both groypers, Nazis, liberals, lefties, that means that the symmetry breaker between groypers and Nazis can't be
Like this, by the way. Why do you talk like this? Who talks like this?
What do you mean?
I don't know. You just talk
Answer his
weird.
question.
It's just he's talking weird. Like it's very bizarre the way he talks.
He's talking
Like,
intelligently.
nobody fucking talks like this. It's just weird.
This is just how it, like,
please.
I know, it's
answer his
weird.
question.
Like, I hear people talk every single day, and like people don't talk like this.
That's embarrassing.
Okay.
Okay.
No,
continue.
it's true. He's fucking doing like it's weird. It's like he's trying a little too hard.
I am trying my very best to communicate in a way that you
No, you know, I see. I like, and like you did this also with BPF. It's like you do this like this weird thing where you're like trying to like fuck. I don't know. But go ahead. Well, we can keep doing it.
doing what?
Go ahead. Say what you were saying.
Okay. For the third time, you want me to re-explain the thing that everyone
Sure,
lately
yes.
understands?
Yes.
If the difference between Groypers and Nazis is their optical usage of rhetoric, and then you say that everyone has an optical foil or an optical film for their rhetoric, then how is the difference between Groypers and Nazis the optical film?
How's the difference?
I see politically provoked in chat. Yeah, well, let's talk. Brittany, hold on. Let me send you my Discord. Hold on. You know what? I'm starting to, I don't agree with Brittany at all on any of this kind of shit, but I can empathize with her frustration in the fact that this guy does talk in a bit of a confusing way. I'm so, you realize that means that the symmetry of the, it's just, ay, ay, ay.
Between the Groypers and the Nazis.
Also, to Andrew's credit, he never made fun of the way that I talk, because that gets dangerously close to you basically just throwing in the white flag and saying, I don't get what he says.
No, I know what you're saying, but I see what you're doing too.
I guess calmly explaining things is not your style.
Okay. No, I don't think that there's a problem when people are trying to be optical. I don't think there's a problem. I think everybody does it. And so acting like that the Groypers do it makes them the same as a Nazi or whatever. I just don't think that you would be able to judge that just by...
I'm gonna go pee really quickly. Brittany, I'll call you back in like I'll call you in like 2 seconds. Okay. I'm gonna just let this play for a second.
talking to them in general or looking at them or being in the server that you would automatically know that.
Right. I agree with you.
Oh my god, this is like going the fucking most annoying circles ever.
The only reason why we're going in circles is because you refuse to leave the circle.
No, because you just keep going in circles.
The only reason why we're going in circles is because every time I ask the simplest version of the question that I
because
can
you don't
possibly
give me the
muster.
answers you want.
No, it's not even just an answer that I
You keep
want.
trying to get me to give these answers that you want, and I'm not giving them to you, and so you just keep going back in circles and over and over fucking again.
If I ask you the difference between A and B, and you say, I don't like how you asked me that question, I think you're using debate tactics, that's not an answer. That's a deflection off the point, because you can't answer the question because you know that your
No,
position
because
is
this has been
untenable.
going on for like way too long, and you just keep doing this fucking weird game with me.
It's been like 10 minutes. Calm
No,
down.
it hasn't.
I've maybe asked this question like 3 times in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
It's really not been that long, that significant portion of your life, I guarantee it.
Okay. Well, I'm going to give you the same answer every time. I don't think it's the same, and I don't know what else to tell you about that.
Okay, well, you don't have to say anything else about it. I think we can leave it at the mercy of the audience as to whose questions were unintelligible and who was answering the questions honestly.
Oh, I didn't ask you any questions.
But I asked you questions.
Oh,
so
I
that's why
know
we
you
were
did. The same ones over and over fucking again. Trying to get the answer you want.
Rephrase differently to hope that you answer.
No, you were trying to get me to say the things that you want, and I'm not. And I just
What do you think he was trying to get you to say, really quick? Because this conversation is now.
He's trying to trap me into saying that they're the same, and I don't think that they are.
Okay, so why do you think that he was trying to do that? Or
Because
like,
he
how
wants
do you
me
think
to
he was?
say that they're the fucking same.
No, let me rephrase that. Not why.
He's
How
telling.
do you
He's
think he
trying
was
to
trying to
say
do that?
because he's trying to say that just because they're optically, they're trying to.
I'm gonna put this in the title. Hello.
Well, hello.
Hold on, let me turn your volume up a little bit. You're kind of quiet.
Okay.
So how are you doing? I've heard a lot about you recently. With apparently you've been red pilled or something. I don't know. Maybe you want to fill me in.
Yeah, I think I have been red pilled on a couple issues. I mean, I don't know if you'd call. I guess you'd call it red pilled. Mostly immigration and white people becoming a minority, which I don't think is a good thing.
Okay. So let me.
And let me just like justice the chat because how you mentioned that he talks weird too. Okay, so yeah, he's claimed to be a professional debater, and that he's rhetorically effective. I don't think it's rhetorically effective if you can't hold my attention. You're trying to overcomplicate simple things that he could easily say. That's not effective. I couldn't follow like any of that at 2 a.m. when I'm freaking drunk, and he's trying. I need like a lot of Adderall for that kind of conversation. Like,
I understand. Yeah, the way he was talking was a little bit on the esoteric sounding side almost.
Yeah,
it sounded like he was just. You're right. Honestly, it did come across like he was trying too hard to make it sound complicated.
Thank you.
So I can, and also, I don't agree with their approaches entirely, so I can empathize with your frustration in this conversation. But I mean, I'm trying to think where to start. So what about with immigration? What's the big deal of who cares if white people become a minority?
Well, do you think it's good to be a minority in general?
I mean, it doesn't have to be.
I mean, do you think minorities in this country are treated well as it is?
It would depend which minority, I think.
I mean, I think that most minority groups are not treated very well.
I mean, black people aren't treated very well, but that's usually because of systemic racism, not just their minority status.
And so, like, my fear basically is that, have you heard the little Timmy argument?
Yes, I've heard the little Timmy question.
Well, basically, we are going to be having a debate on that on Thursday. Mia will be doing that. But basically, I think that, with the history white people have had in this country, and we likely probably do deserve some of this, and I've been in that white guilt era. I've gone through all of that.
Mm-hmm. With white guilt?
And yeah, I have. And so I get like where it's coming from, but I do think that if white people become the minority, and with our history, that there is going to be some kind of racial revenge, and people are not going to be very sympathetic to the white person because of that history. Whereas minorities right now, people are a lot more sympathetic, and they try to fix the wrongs that have been made because of the history as well.
So do you really think that if people want to fix the wrongs that have been made, that's going to result in like revenge against white people?
I think that we should fix the wrongs that were made. I think we should do all of that stuff, but I also don't think that beating along white people becoming the minority is a good thing for white people.
But it's not beating it along. It just seems to be the natural progression of things.
Well, with how much immigration we're taking, it is. I think it is speeding it along.
We don't really take that many people in.
We kind of do. And it's not even just white people becoming the minority is my only issue to that. Most of the
let's just
people
focus just on that for now.
Well, can I just say this really quick?
Yeah.
Okay, because most of the people that we are taking from south of the border, it's going to be low-skilled workers. And those jobs are all going to be replaced in the next like 10, 20 years. And so we are going to end up having all these people that we are going to have to take care of now because those are the jobs that are going to be replaced.
What makes you think we'll have to take care of them? Maybe they'll get a different job.
We're going to have a lot of Americans that are going to need to be in that situation where they're going to have to find a different job. So why would we bring in more people that would fall into that category if we don't have to?
Because if you want to look at it historically, the economy tends to adjust to these things. Usually if fields close
We've never gone
up,
through this.
usually if one work area closes up, another what's the saying? When a door closes up, the window opens up or whatever. You know what I'm saying, right?
Sure.
There are other opportunities that come along, right? And I just feel like a lot of your reasoning here sounds like a very hypothetical, almost like slippery slope, what if fear. So like, for example, the little Timmy question, are we going to get to a place where a little boy is mocked and ridiculed for being white? No, I don't think so. And it doesn't look like we're going that direction either. If you want to look at it on a statistical level, racial equality obviously is growing in America. The odds of that actually happening is extremely unlikely. Plus, we already have laws in place to protect against discrimination on that basis explicitly. So unless in your hypothetical nightmarish hellscape world, it's going to become like what, all the laws are going to be overturned and changed, the Civil Rights Act is going to be removed. Like, do you see how that's getting a little bit like out there? It seems very unlikely that the little Timmy question would ever actually become a reality.
Sorry. Do you think there's like no anti-white rhetoric going on?
Anti-white rhetoric
Yeah.
is significantly lesser, and it does not equal to children being discriminated on the basis of their race.
So, but do you think that's happening? I mean, it seems like I'm hearing it all over the place, even from a lot of white people, and I don't understand why they're doing
What
that.
kind
And
of
actually,
anti-white
then
rhetoric?
just basically that white people are these villains, and it's a good thing that they are going to lose any kind of power or any kind of status, and just talking about all the history that has
Well, the
happened.
thing
with white
is it's not so much about it's good that they're going to lose power. It's more like, what's the justification for white people to have power? What's the, like, even we were talking about a second ago with the white people becoming a minority. Who cares? Why is that actually a problem?
It's a problem for white people.
Why?
It's not a problem for anybody else.
But why? Like, I could agree that those people that are like, yay, white people declining, lol, lol, lol. Sure, maybe they're being kind of ditzy and stupid and annoying or whatever. But, like, that does not equal 30 years down the line, white children are excluded from their classes because they're white and they're the colonizer. That's a joke. That would require literally undoing, I think, the Civil Rights Act, and it would be violating all kinds of equal, anti-discrimination clauses.
So you think, okay, so don't you think that like you said, we have the protections in place for minorities and for groups in general already, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yet we still deal with a lot of racism. Yet we still deal with people who can't get jobs because of their race. Yet we still deal with
Because it's not about just replacing white people. This is the problem. Is maybe this is what happens when you get a lot of information from Mayo or whatever the fuck his name is. But like, what really it comes down to is it's a much more nuanced conversation to be had about like what white privilege looks like, what systemic racism looks like, how that affects people, and it's significantly deeper than just like white people bad. In fact, systemic racism is explicitly not about judging the individual, and particularly about judging the system and trying to figure out how we can change the system. So like,
what's in the system that is what's in the system exactly that is
the system
racist?
is made up of people. That's true. So you could argue that there might be some people in the system that are racist, but generally it's about, it could be in a policy way that you could fix that. There's ways
What kind of policies?
Well, I don't know exactly, but there are biases that play a role here. So, for example, the death penalty.
Mhm.
Black people are disproportionately given the death penalty, and they're more likely to be given the death penalty if they're accused of killing a white person rather than if they're accused of killing another black person. So there
I mean,
seems
how
to...
recent is that though? Like, I feel like the death penalty is kind of an outdated argument. I think like
No, the death penalty still happens all the time. But that is an example of where systemic racism is prevalent, and my solution to that would be actually get rid of the death penalty. I don't think we should have the death penalty.
I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that.
So, okay, there you go. But like there you go. There's a solution to a problem with systemic racism that doesn't have anything to do with white people bad.
Yeah, but that's an extreme example, I feel like.
Why? How is it
Because
extreme?
I mean, it's just not a lot of people are going to be going and facing the death penalty. That's just not, it's not a very common thing. Where I think when people talk about systemic racism, I mean, oh god, my phone's gonna start ringing. Hold on, let me decline this. When people are talking about systemic racism, I think a lot of them are probably talking about the courts and how black people are given twice as much of a sentence for the same crime as a white person.
I don't know if it's twice, but yeah, I'm familiar with that.
Yeah, so like those kind of arguments. But again, like you can still have the systems in place that protect minority groups, but if their people, like you said, are the system, there's not really much you can do. And
That's not
hate
true.
crime-
That's not
well,
true. That's the
really quick,
doomer mentality right there. Is there's nothing you can do to change it. You can. I can give you something right now that could change it. So, for example, since black people tend to be also disproportionately poor, black people, one of the reasons they get longer sentences. Are you still with me, Brittany?
Yeah, I'm just typing something, so I don't want it to be clicking really loud.
Okay, gotcha. If they since black people are disproportionately in poverty, if they are given a sorry, I lost my train of thought for a second there. Part of the reason that black people get longer sentences is because they have poor quality lawyers and representation. So a way that we could fix that is more federal funding to buff up lawyers and public defenders. That right there, nothing to do with white people bad, but it could potentially fix a very serious systemic racism issue.
Sure, I think that we should do that. I have no problem with that. I mean, I would
So
love
you
to do.
agree with me then? You agree with fixing the systemic racism stuff. So then what is it about the Mayo Groyper stuff that, other than the immigration thing, that you find so...
I agree. We need to. There's a lot of problems we need to fix. I think we need to invest in these low income communities and try to fix the issues there. Invest in education, and hopefully that will fix a lot of problems. I think that we should also, with our welfare. I mean, I'm not entirely sure. Like, I haven't done a lot of research on like how like what the requirements are, but you hear a lot of people talking about how they kind of go towards single parents. I think that our welfare should be kind of more leaning towards married couples, and maybe that will kind of incentivize people to stay together.
That's not really that probably wouldn't work as well as it sounds like it would hypothetically. But the thing is that even if we hypothetically did fix all of these systemic racist issues, doesn't that just further prove that down the line in the future, the little Timmy question is even more absurd?
No, because what you're talking about and what I'm talking about are two different things. Like right now, with what I'm talking about is like the mentality of people, is like changing people's minds. And with how long our history is, and even if we did all of those things that you said, it's still not going to change the minds of people that are still going to be angry about the history that has happened in this country. And
I actually don't think that's correct. I think that there are ways to ameliorate that. For example, you talk a lot about reparations. Now, you would have to do it in the right way, of course, but I think that there are ways that if there is somebody who is still has like a lineage of slavery, right, in their past, I think that actually giving a payment to those people would absolutely be a good thing. I heard something really interesting. It was talking about how reparations are a step to forgiveness. So there are solutions that, again, we can implement there that would go to fix these issues that doesn't have anything to do with white people bad, that could even potentially fix this mentality. And just to clarify, just a dangerous mentality or something does not mean that this means the entire laws are going to be rewritten in the next 30 years and then white children are going to be completely discriminated against for being white.
I mean, like, okay, because we've had the reparations debate on our channel, and it would be incredibly hard to prove who was a slave because they didn't keep very good records back then also.
Well, you would have to go through, but right there, at the very least, I'm able to provide you with a potential solution that doesn't have anything to do with white people bad.
Well, I think a better solution would be investing in the majority of Black communities, like and investing in that way rather than just giving checks to people. I think that might be a more realistic solution, at least.
Sure.
But like again, even still, like you're talking about still changing the minds of people, that it's going to be incredibly difficult to do. I mean, and
But what's the worst that's going to happen, really? Do you actually...
It's still a gamble I'm not really wanting to take. It's not something I really want.
You don't know what's going to... I can tell you what's going to happen with full confidence. Absolutely nothing. This is just... What this is chalked up narratives made by people that want you to be afraid of white people becoming the minority. Ooh, spooky. When in reality, it doesn't fucking matter. It's not going to matter. And also the little Timmy question, again, you need to tell me the only way that would become a reality is if laws were rewritten. So you need to tell me how that's going to take place
Wait, what do you mean if laws
realistically.
were, what do you mean by if laws were rewritten?
I believe the Civil Rights Act protects like equality across the board. And also you have protected classes, and you cannot discriminate against people on the basis of their race. So you would not be able to discriminate at a school on a private level or a federal level against a student for their race. That would be illegal. So you need to tell me how that they're going to rewrite the laws, how a dangerous, spooky mentality of white people bad is going to rewrite laws.
Right. I mean, but that's already the case. But hate crimes are like, I think, one of the hardest things to prove in courts, and so that's why you hear a lot of lawyers talking about how they try to undercharge a bit, because they think if they overcharge with a hate crime, they might not be able to prove it, and it can cost them their entire case. So it just even if that's like the case, and all these things are in you have all these protections in place, I still don't think that you are really going to be able to address the actual issue, because
How so?
people can, because this could still happen, and they can act like it's for some other reason. They don't have to sit there and
anything could happen. This is
but they don't
conspiracism. This is like fear bait right now. This is like a creepypasta. What you're telling me right now.
No, I don't think it, but I understand the way that thinking can happen, and I just don't think it's something I would just speed up.
But here's the thing. Hold on. You can understand how that thinking happens. I don't condone people shitting on white people. I would not be in favor of that. In fact, I just made fun of Twitter woke scolds for shitting on white people for being white and writing a book about pasta or something. But you can understand all day how that mindset and mentality comes along. But the thing that you cannot seem to explain to me is how that mentality is going to lead to laws being rewritten. I'm going to keep going back to that because I think you recognize that that's a very large leap to make. Mentalities changing are not going to necessarily rewrite protected classes in America's law. So that's the thing, is you can understand that mentality and even empathize with it. That's fine. But it's not going to lead to the little Timmy question of a little boy who's just like blatantly discriminated against at his school on the basis of his race.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, like, they don't have to sit there and say it's because he's white. It's going to be in their minds.
So it's just going to conveniently be the one white kid in the class that they're all like, you're in timeout for an extra period of time. Why? Is it because I'm white? No.
No, I don't think it's gonna be. I don't think it's gonna be like the teachers doing that and stuff. I think it would be more, the kids and in the classroom. That's, I think, more so what the case is that we talk about.
Okay, so then what you would have right there is something that would need to be solved on a school level, and then you would have to. What would happen is the kid would tell their mom that they were being bullied. The mom would call the school, and the school would have to enforce basically a policy or something or another to make sure that wasn't taking place.
Come on. Well, what happens to the kid whose mom calls the school? How well does that go for him?
This is all just so conspiracy bait. I can't. No. I can't imagine. Like, here's my main issue here is, like, you're opposing immigration, which is a net good on society. I know you've heard the arguments on your stream before. It benefits the economy. It benefits our culture.
Now.
Immigrants. Hold on.
Benefits the economy for now. Okay,
I want to. This is something else that I want to address too, because you mentioned before immigrants taking up our welfare stuff. Currently, immigrants pay far more into welfare programs than they take out. So right now, immigrants are a net positive, and then all of a sudden, now you're saying no, stop that, because I'm scared that hypothetically, little Timmy question happens. Do you realize why that not only sounds, no offense, like blatantly delusional, but also just really privileged? Like, there are people all over the world, particularly in America, that benefit from immigration. Immigration strengthens the economy, and in turn, that benefits American workers. There are people everywhere, all over America, that benefit from immigration, and basically you're saying you don't care about those people, just shut it down because creepypasta.
So what happens, but again, so you're doing the economic argument when machines are going to take all those jobs.
It's not just about them working menial jobs. Immigrants can work other jobs. There will be other quote unquote menial jobs. Like I said, throughout history, we've seen stuff like this. Oh, they were scared that if cars came along, there would no longer be any jobs for the people that made like the buggies for the horses. And you know what? There wasn't. But other jobs and other things opened up. That's how the economy tends to work.
The thing is that the other jobs that will open up are going to be more high-skilled jobs. Like this has never happened in all of human
That is not true
history
at all.
with-
Is that
with
they're not
how fast the technology is going to take so many jobs, and it's going to be across the board on almost every single job.
That's not
Like,
true.
in
You
a-
don't need
yes,
to be
it
an
is.
expert. Even if things do become more technological, you can still have menial jobs within that field. There
Yeah,
are
okay, so
people that
see,
can
like a-
operate small. There are mechanical things that will be necessary. There will be other quote unquote, again, menial jobs that will open up. And I completely wholeheartedly reject this idea that even if I grant you this, even if I grant you that all of this happens, then that still wouldn't make the little Timmy question a reality, right? All you would have is more technology, I guess, and then people who don't have jobs, which you'd have to figure that out. But I reject this like far-fetched hypothetical thing that's going to happen that leads to this perfect storm of white people being the victim. What it sounds like is a creepypasta / wet dream written down by a white supremacist / white nationalist. That's what it sounds like to me.
I don't think it has to be by white nationalists to want to look out for your own self-interest. I think that's like human nature. You're
Why
always
is your
gonna
own
wanna look out for your
self-interest
own-
white people? Can't your own self-interest be your neighborhood or your community or your family?
A lot of that is pretty white, so you're not helping.
But why
there.
is it on the basis of white people? How are they your community? How are
What do
they?
you mean,
How is
your
how is
community?
looking out for white people looking out for like your own kind? Like, what does that mean exactly?
Well, I just think that, like, I mean, a lot of this is, just visual. Like, I see one argument I am okay with that I think it wouldn't work on maybe the Groypers, but would on me, is when they talk about, a lot of the people are going to be just interracial marriages, and it's going to kind of blend out to the point where like everybody becomes like one race. Like, I
Yeah,
would be
people are
okay
gonna
with
just become
that.
more like brown.
I would be
kind of.
okay. I would be okay with that. The Groypers would not, because they don't want white people to be extinct. And I get that.
But
That's
why?
not my. That's
See,
not,
I would even add like
No.
white people being extinct implies that they've died out. This would just be white
Yeah,
people.
that's going to- that-
Hold on.
that is
This
going
would
to
hold on.
happen.
Wait. This would just be
Okay.
white people progressing naturally, and over time, as they fuck more and more, they become more and more brown. The children become more brown. That's would be a radical difference than going extinct, right? So even if that were the case, I would ask them. So why do you you're just going to look out for people that just look like you just for the sake, because the fact that they look like you? That's just, what do like white people have that are intrinsically makes them like one kind that they need to be looking out for each other?
Well, I mean, that's like a question you could be asking them. I mean, we have panels and stuff. You can always pop on for that. And
But this was
and have
your
the
argument.
Well, no, it's not, because I'm like you're talking. What I'm talking about is more of the racial revenge and white people becoming a minority. I'm not liking that idea. If it got to a point where we were just all basically one race because of so much interracial marriages and stuff, then I would be down with that. But if we're talking about a point where it's going to be a classroom of black and brown people and then just like one or two white people, that doesn't sound very good for the white kids, especially with how much the
So
schools
how
are
do you
pushing
feel about
so
right
hard.
now when there's schools that like sometimes they're all white kids with like a couple black kids?
I don't think that the black kids get bullied as much in those type of schools, actually, for being
So
black.
actually, there's much more evidence to suggest that black people are bullied more. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, I believe that the suicide
don't
rate,
they-
the suicide
don't
rate
their
among
IQs
hold on,
Okay,
the
sorry.
suicide rate among black boys, I think, is even higher sometimes because of the bullying. I could be wrong there, but that's my understanding. So there is bullying, but again, if you want to say that there's bullying, then we could fix that. You don't fix that by just putting all of them in like segregating them, right? You fix it by teaching them and instilling in them values that you have to be kind to people. And what you're doing right now is actually kind of the opposite. If anyone's going to make the little Timmy thing a reality, it's going to be you, because you're the one who's saying that it's white people that need to be looking out for each other against everyone else. You're the one that's dividing it right now.
Well, but for me, I am looking out for other people as well. Like, I'm not trying to, like I said, I would like to invest in some of these communities. I would like to do all the things that you guys are talking about doing, but I also don't want to speed along white people becoming the minority. I think you can do both.
But you haven't proven why that would be a bad thing and what you mean by speeding it along. If you mean like a natural flow of immigration, then too bad.
Why can't we have a like a merit-based type of immigration system where we are bringing in more, educated people and people that will.
You know what's funny is the reason our immigration system exists the way it does right now, with like chain migration, it's called sometimes, is actually because of Republicans. So back in the day when they were trying to make immigration a little bit more accessible, Republicans were angry because they didn't want more brown people coming into the country. And so they made it so that, you know what, if you already are immigrated here, then you can bring your family here as well. And that thought at the time was, this is going to keep it to more white people, right? Because more white people were really the only ones who'd immigrated thus far. But long-term effects of that actually became, well, a different system of immigration entirely. So, I mean, if anything, it's really people, again, peddling the kind of ideas that you're peddling, who are terrified of immigration, that's actually led to that issue to begin with. Like, it just seems like this very reactive sort of like, this thing might happen. It just, none of this is grounded in any sense of reality.
But can't you say that about almost like everything? Like, you can say that, should we not prepare for climate change? Should we not prepare
No, because
for
there's actual no, here's the difference. There's data to indicate that climate change disaster is a reality if we don't do something. There's not data to indicate that white people are somehow becoming discriminated against or bullied for being white.
Hasn't it been like the case that nearly every time that that Black people have taken control of a country that was run by white people, I'm gonna botch this a little bit, but that it has led to some sort of genocide? This is something that they were talking about on. I haven't looked into it quite a bit, but I know that this was debated and that that the liberals had to concede this. So I would have to look more into it, but
I'd have to look more into it also,
yeah,
but I can kind of hear the like white nationalist bastardization talking point kind of coming through you. Like, well, there was this nation where Black people took over, and then all the whites got fucked. Like, did that? Wait, were there protective? Were there protected clauses in that? Were there protected classes in that society? Did there exist an equal protection law? Did there exist constitutional rights where like people had to be treated like decently? Did there exist any of that, or is this just some random time where Black people's society and then the downfall of white people? This is what I mean, is that a lot of these ideas, this fear of immigration, comes from a very feelings-based place. It comes from a very uncomfortable gut feeling of, I'm really scared that this thing might happen. But if you want to look at the societal trends. Equality is overall growing. LGBT acceptance, it's growing overall. This is a good thing. Even Black Lives Matter at the beginning was one of the most hit all-time highs in popularity. So there are various indicators to show that racial equality is growing, and with that comes, again, equality. The word implies it. There's not going to be bullying on the basis of race. That's something that's deliberately fought against in most places.
Do you think that it's actually really growing, or it's maybe the circles that like you are going to be in? Because the fact that Trump was able to win shows a reactionary kind of president that people wanted, based on how much change is happening so fast. And the fact that we have social media where it's just constantly in your face, people aren't able to like kind of hide out from it anymore like they used to in the past. These like
there's a lot of people that are scared of immigrants, and Trump absolutely capitalized on both anti-immigration sentiments and racist sentiments, which led him to the White House. There are actual studies indicating this. But I don't think that you can say, well, Trump won, so therefore the little Timmy question is going to be happening. Like, you can also just as easily say, well, Trump lost this time around, So maybe it's swelling down. Plus, again, we could look through it at a historical lens. Historically, whenever equality grows, with that swells reactionary groups as well. People that fight against it tend to get louder at the same times that more equality is growing as well. This is just a common historical trend.
Well, this is why in my ideal world, I think, and especially the way our country is designed, because every state is just completely different from the next. Like Alabama is going to be completely different from California and New York. You're going to have, and we're trying to make policies that are going to work for people that are just so widely different. So I feel like in our country, especially with the federal government, you need more of a slow progress to happen so that people can adjust with it rather than culture shocking people. And
how is that not happening now?
And no, because we are putting a lot of change really fast onto people. They just started getting used to the idea of gay marriage and all this stuff that's happening, and then now you have transgenders in their face.
No. Stop. I'm not saying no. We're not going to halt progress and.
It's not a halting progress. We're
not going to slow down progress on freeing marginalized groups because it might scare the bigots. That's not how this works, okay? But when it comes to the immigration thing, you don't want to say that. I mean, if you want to say that immigration is increasing, like it's not. As far as I'm concerned, it's been steadily decreasing, actually. We don't really accept that many immigrants. Like, things are changing. And like, if you want to talk about gay marriage, the majority of the country supports that. If you want to look at LGBT acceptance, I'm pretty sure the majority of the country, or at least probably pretty split, is in support of that as well. But I'm not concerned on whether or not the country supports it. I'm pretty sure you could find times where
You should be, though.
Well, hold on. I want to back that up because I realize how out of context that can sound. But in this case, when it comes to specifically marginalized groups and giving them equal treatment and equal rights, I am not concerned what the country thinks in that matter specifically. So if you want to go back again in history, I love it. I keep going back to history. You can see that for a long time, the majority of the country wasn't too fond of ending slavery. But you know what? We weren't going to just ease that one in to appease the slave owners. No, you have to grant those people equal rights because that is what America demands.
They weren't given equal rights. It was an actual a slow progress where they got that. They just couldn't own people anymore. They didn't have equal rights. That came way.
You know what?
down
You're
the
right. It did become it was a slower process, and that only further destroys your point because you can now look, and because of that quote unquote slow process, it actually stems to a lot of the systemic racist issues we have today.
Imagine what would have happened if they were given instantly equal rights and
imagine what would have happened if there was no Jim Crow. God, I know, man. The world could have gone into chaos. Like, do you hear yourself right now?
Well, I'm just saying that the reaction that could have happened could have been pretty bad. We could have.
I
had
don't care.
wars.
I don't
We could have
care
had
about those
wars.
people. If they're willing to go to war about slavery, or in this case, go to war over transgender people being treated under, given equal treatment under the law, then I don't care. Fuck those people. Whether they approve or not of your life does not determine whether or not you are owed rights to live your life freely.
This is also the problem here, though, is this kind of like there's so much diversity in this country. You kind of have to care about different views as well. I don't know, maybe like at this rate that we're going, because it doesn't seem like the sides are going to be able to coexist, that we could be leading towards some kind of secession of some sort, like. And maybe, I don't know, all the states become their own country and the federal government's like a EU type of thing or of some sort. But I just see where this is going, and it doesn't.
But you don't see where this is going. You think you're seeing where this is going, but everything you're telling me is literally sounds like it's delusional. What you just said sounds like a fucking Star Trek episode.
I think that would be a good solution, actually.
You're telling me like they might secede. The kids might be discriminated against for being what? Like, you seem so disconnected from the reality of the world right now and what we can do to be. If you're actually genuinely afraid of the quote-unquote little Timmy question becoming a reality, then I hope that, I don't know what your position is on Black Lives Matter, but I certainly hope your position on general equality would align with that. And that includes immigration, further dividing people and making them scared of other people. You don't want to become, you know what? I want to say this. If we're going to talk about people, being like not turning into something else, like What did you say? Like, we don't want to grant trans people rights too quickly, right? Because that might like
No, I'm
freak
not
out the
saying I'm
bigots
not
kind of
saying
thing.
that. I'm saying, but a lot of it is very in your face, like at all times, especially with social media. And
So
hmm?
you can unfollow those people. That doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, see, like that's what they don't like that.
So how
idea.
about this? Okay, if we're gonna say that trans people or these people shouldn't be super in your face about it because that could actually like cause people to be against trans people, then please apply that logic equally and stop doing it yourself. Don't be the racist, bigoted white girl that the brown people are afraid of. Don't be that person. Instead, try to push for a change instead of restricting immigration based on a hypothetical fear of what might happen.
I just don't think it's a chance like I would want to take. I mean, it's a gamble that
The world has
doesn't
become more
sound
and
good.
more diverse. America's become more diverse, and America's only become better as a result of it. There are some conflicts
Really?
here.
You think it's better?
Yes, there are some conflicts, but you know what? When there were less brown people in the country, there were a fuck ton of conflicts then too. Things change, times change. You're not going to be able to stop it. And by writing some like fan fiction about like the little Timmy question is not going to make anything change. I just feel like I don't know. Do you understand where I am kind of detecting the hypocrisy though with the standards you're setting on like marginalized groups versus the standard you seem to be holding yourself to?
I mean, I guess, but I don't think it's really hypocritical to be looking out for our own self-interest.
But no. That's not what we're saying. I'm not saying your own self-interest here. I'm saying exactly how you're applying your standards, which is marginalized groups shouldn't be in your face about things. Now, what you really said was they shouldn't be granted rights too quickly, but we'll grant and say fine. Marginalized groups shouldn't be super in your face about the fact that they're a marginalized group, right? Because that can.
What about that whole? They spent like I think, what 2 or 3 weeks on Twitch debating about kink at Pride.
I don't
like,
care. Who
well,
cares?
those are good examples of like things being in your face.
This doesn't mean anything, and that was a part of a discussion. That was just typical political discourse. So, okay, if they shouldn't be in your face, and as a result of that, that's going to cause more people to be against them, then why are you being so blatant about like, anti-immigration sentiments? If in turn, that's just going to make more people afraid of you, right? Won't that make the brown people afraid of you? Won't that lead to more division and ultimately the little Timmy question could become a reality?
I don't think so, because I'm also combining it with doing things to fix the problems that we have in this country. But I'd rather focus on what's going on in our country and not speeding up the inevitable reality that white people are going to become the minority, because that's
But
going
you
to
haven't.
happen.
Hold on,
That's
wait, stop,
absolutely
stop,
happening.
stop, 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 because you haven't proven why that itself is bad.
Because I mean, it's just a logical step you can follow
Why?
on what's. I mean, what do you mean
If it's
why?
logical step that you can follow, you should be able to walk me through it at least briefly.
Well, I think
Why
I
is it bad
have.
if white people become a minority? Why?
I think I have walked you through why that's bad.
No, you didn't. You said little Timmy question. Why else? Why? Give me something that's grounded in reality.
Because I think there is a racial revenge that is like stemming in a lot of people, and they're angry about.
So why do you
this.
think this? Do you just have like a feeling in
I
your
know, I
bones
see
that
it.
there's like
Yeah, I
this
see it.
racial revenge brewing, or like?
You can see it all over the place, and the anti-white rhetoric that people are constantly spewing.
What about all the diversity rhetoric people spew? What about all the, remember people would get so mad about the diversity is our strength thing? What about that? There's also a lot of like popularity in spreading pro-diversity messaging too. So I see that, and I think that actually I get this deep feeling, seriously, that soon the world's going to get even better.
Yeah, well.
Do you see how like you're not giving me a logical answer, Brittany?
Well, I don't agree.
You don't have one.
I don't agree with things getting better if for white people at least. If
No,
they
I was comparing the standards to you, but you need why? What's the big deal if white people become a minority?
Because it's not good for no minority wants to. Nobody wants to be a minority ever.
I mean, it doesn't have to, but being a minority does not have to be a bad thing. It doesn't intrinsically make you a bad thing either. Like you can look at like Asians, for example. they're a very successful minority. Look at Black Nigerians. They're extremely successful minorities who have immigrated here. There are
They also
minorities.
have,
There are minorities that
wait,
hold.
what was the
Hold on,
second- wait,
hold
what-
on. There are minorities that hold a lot of power and a lot of influence, and the fact that they are minorities has no bearing on any of that. A lot of the problems that we see in America with that minorities suffer from is actually due to long-stemming systemic racist issues, and actually doesn't have that much to do with like anything going on at the moment.
You said, okay, so you said Asians, and then what was the second one you said? Was that Nigerians?
Yeah, Black Nigerians.
So
They're
don't
extremely
both
wealthy.
of those aren't both of those groups known to have like really high IQs?
Oh my God. What are you going to do if you get an IQ test and you have a really low IQ?
I'm fucked.
Are you going to be like upset? Are you going to be embarrassed?
I'm gonna be so upset. I'm gonna cry about it.
Do you think if
No.
you get a lower IQ, do you think that'll give you the N-word pass or something? But seriously, do you see how like I don't understand how you were convinced by these ideas? Do you think maybe you're just a little worried about like race? Do you want to just talk about the fact that you like white people and don't want them to be a minority? Like that's what it sounds like to me.
Well, I don't want people to, I don't want white people to become a minority, of course, but I told you
why?
why. I don't want that.
You
I
haven't
said that
told
I would also no, I did. But I've also said that I would be okay if it got to the point where we just like we're all one race. Like so it's not all just about like being white or I don't care that much. I mean,
So you're okay with mixed racial marriage. You're okay with us all becoming one race, but you don't want white people to become a minority temporarily then? Like if everyone
Yeah, I think if we were all one race, that would probably actually solve a lot of problems. Because I think there would be a lot of less infighting and stuff.
you're like almost on the other side of maybe we should just have a, you know, ethno state, right? If all one race solves anything. See, this is like Neanderthal thinking that like we all need to look alike in order to get along. This is bullshit.
Well,
And
but
we're
it's
progressed and
true,
we've
though.
evolved. No, it's not true. We
That's
look
how human
different. All of
nature
us look
is.
different. Everyone is different, and everyone has different varying genes and varying IQs and what the fuck ever.
Why-
And you know what? We get along. America remains the greatest country on earth. It's a world superpower.
though.
And it continues to be. The melting pot of cultures in America has only made this country stronger. And I would be willing to bet that that a fuck ton of things that you and I enjoy on a daily basis came from someone who was not white. Some form of diversity played a role in a lot of the things we enjoy. Something as simple as peanut butter that I fucking love. That was invented by black people. It's thanks to diversity that I can enjoy that I can enjoy peanut butter. Okay? So no, you haven't given me a reason. You have not given me a reason why if white people become a minority, it's a bad thing. What do you think is going to happen? Do you think it's going to go from like 50 to like 49% and then suddenly like the laws are going to change and then like white people are going to be getting lynched and like forced to pick cotton? Like what do you think is going to happen here?
I just don't think it's going to be good for white people. Like, I mean, I just see, and you see this happening with like the summer riots that happened, and I could show you this video, but you'll probably have to watch it on a different time because it's like 30 minutes. But like you should watch this video of they did a really good compilation of all the anti-white rhetoric that's going on, a lot of the reactions that's happening to it.
Of course, there's some anti-white rhetoric, but what about all the compilations of anti-black rhetoric? And also, there's tons of fucking proof of systemic inequalities directly affecting black people in our institutions that don't affect white people. If anything, it's far more likely that the Little Timmy question would become a reality if Little Timmy was black. You could literally make that argument a little bit stronger than for white people.
Except the fact that a lot of white people are trying to actually correct those issues right now. Whereas if the roles were reversed, I don't see too many black people jumping up to correct the wrongs for white people based on the history that has happened.
So just black people wouldn't do it, but white people do because they're better? I don't understand.
Because I think the history, it's like the white guilt thing. There's a fucking gardener.
I mean, there might be a historical quote-unquote white guilt because historically, if you look at it, like, it was white people that enslaved black people in this country. That's probably why it's a bit of a focal point here in this country. But if there was another country where it was black people that enslaved white people, then you probably would see similar shit. You probably would see people that would maybe suffer from quote unquote black guilt. But again, none of this ultimately proves that like the little Timmy questions becoming a reality or that white people becoming a minority is bad. This is stuff that you're telling me is existing right now. What's going to change when they become a minority?
What's gonna when white people are minority?
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be worse. If it's happening right now and will lose any kind of power, I think it's going to be worse.
So are you worried about losing power or becoming a minority? Because just if like tomorrow we wake up and white people are 49% of the country, I don't think all the white people that control like aspects of the institutions and the industries and whatnot are suddenly going to lose their positions.
Lose their positions in what? Sorry.
In positions of power, institutions, like wherever. I mean, white people, you could argue, are disproportionately in positions in like government and probably in like the courts as well. I don't know for sure though, but even if that were the case, like, do you think that that's just gonna like just suddenly change? Do you think that they're just gonna lose their quote unquote power in those institutions?
I don't know. Maybe. I got like 5 minutes left, and then I got it ready because we have debates and stuff going on tonight.
I would ask you to please think about this a little bit deeper, because it sounds to me like what you're saying is like you don't want white people to become a minority because white people are like you're not giving me an answer. You've
because
told
of
me
racial
nothing.
revenge. Racial revenge is my reason.
So what makes you think that racial revenge is going to take place? Just because there's some compilations of people on Twitter saying fuck white people? Really? Do you think that's going to lead to like a civil war? Like,
Do you think that social media doesn't have like a huge amount of influence and power?
of course it does,
And it's
but there's a
and who-
fuck ton of shit on
who-
social media.
Okay,
I
but
can
who is
You know what?
who's
If I wanted to tomorrow,
media?
I could go out and find 3,000 tweets, probably
Okay.
all saying fuck sharks.
But
Okay? And then
who-
if I presented you and said, look, the world is turning against sharks, you could
who-
do it with anything, okay? You can go on Twitter, you can find tweets saying dumb
Okay.
shit anytime.
Okay, but who's the majority of like people on social media? They tend to be younger people that are easily going to be influenced, and so this stuff is like really powerful to the minds of people that are forming their views. So it's a little scary on that, but you can't like comparing it to I can find that on sharks. It's just not a
No, it is. It's absolutely comparable.
Yeah,
You can
no,
find
it's not.
shit
You
on.
know it's
Yes, you
not.
can find
So
articles
that's a
saying
big
that
argument
sharks are
anyway.
scary and bad or whatever. You
that
can
being silly.
compile a bunch of shit from the internet to force anything, to make it look like anything is growing, okay? You can. You absolutely can. And the video that you're referencing, without even watching it, I'd be willing to bet money that it probably did just that. Took some clips, took some tweets saying fuck white people, saying white people should be exterminated, saying shit, by the way, that I don't condone. I think that that shit's bad. And a lot of those people do get banned, or at least temporarily banned, off of their social media platforms for a violation of TOS. But again, that's just not proving that the little Timmy question is going to become a reality. I don't know. I just ask you to please think about this a little deeper, because it sounds
Well-
like you don't have any grounding for these beliefs.
Well, I would like to send you that clip if you want to watch it, and maybe we can have this discussion again.
No, I'm good. I don't need to see the clip. I know that there's anti-white rhetoric, but it doesn't prove that there's
But
going
it's
to
not
be a
even
race
just-
war, like
isn't
revenge
just-
against white people.
It's not just anti-white rhetoric, it's the reaction to the anti-white. It's a lot of stuff that was happening where I guess you can call it hate crimes against white people, looking for go after all the white people. Like it's a really it's not a good video.
Didn't you just
But-
tell me that it's harder to convict people for hate crimes?
Yeah, it is.
So how do you?
I would like.
they
I
were-
would be interested to see how if any of these people were convicted for that.
Did you kind of have these beliefs beforehand, or was Mayo
No.
really the one who red pilled
Yeah.
you here?
Yeah, he was.
Okay, maybe I could talk
Like,
to.
I was there for open borders actually before this.
Okay, well, maybe I can talk to Mayo sometime, because it's just you don't have any reason for thinking this, Brittany. You have nothing that you've based this on. This whole talk has just been nothing but like hypothetical fan fiction of what might happen.
Well, every Saturday we do a pop on drink and chat. We have a panel of a bunch of people, and he's usually on them, and you can always pop on if you want to.
I've heard him debate Destiny a couple times. I don't know how he was able to convince you. He's like so fucking stupid. He's brain dead.
He's not.
He is, and you're making brain
They
dead
weren't
arguments
even-
back
they
at me
weren't
now.
even- They weren't even debating the actual topic. He was getting him in little gotcha things, like catching. Like, it was a lot
Was
of.
I trying to get you in gotcha during this?
No, I
talk?
don't think you were. No, I don't
Okay,
think
so
you were.
but you weren't able to prove anything, so you're regurgitating his brain dead points, and yet they're
No, because I can
easily
understand. Like,
disproven.
the thing is, like, for me, is like I think that what got me into politics. Oh, fucking Gardner. What got me into politics at all was I'm really into like psychology and stuff, and so when Trump kind of stepped in, I was really with him and the people who supported him, and I think without Trump, maybe my politics are a little less. I don't know, they're a little bit more messy because it was just easy when it was like, okay, I hate Trump and everything. But now I'm kind of, I think, figuring out my politics a little bit without him because I wasn't into politics at all before 2016. Like, I completely was brand new.
If you're into like psychology at all, how do you feel about like the psychological kind of research on like what the sort of tenets of fascism are? Like, for example, I don't know if this would be quite in the psychological. I guess it would be. Yeah, like fear, like a fear of the other. That's a key tenet of fascism, and it's usually irrational fears of this of some kind of another group. In this case, it could be immigrants.
It's not like I want it to be like this. Like, I've been like dying inside since I've had these beliefs. Like, I've been not just red pilled, but I've been pretty black pilled. Like, it's been depressing. Like, I don't
know
like that.
because you're believing
I don't like
lies.
that
It
feeling.
would be
I don't think
depressing.
I am,
Believe
though.
me, I would be taking the fucking black pill if I was believing lies all the time,
But
man.
they're not lies. Like, I could just understand the way this is
You
going
can maybe
to go.
understand how, but that's an intuitive argument at the end of the day. That's I feel like this could happen, which is irrational. So it's brain dead.
Yeah, no, I don't think it is. But yeah, no, I don't want it to be this. I wish it wasn't, but I feel like it is.
It doesn't have to be. I know you feel like it is. It's just all feelings with you. That's the problem. Just try to think rationally on this. Don't.
Well,
it's not a.
Of course, this is going to be all feelings. That's where a lot of this stems from. People's feelings.
Yeah, but that's bullshit. And people's.
It's not though, because you can't change.
is.
We talked about earlier how changing people's minds and feelings, like of what they are
Feelings
already.
matter maybe in changing people's minds, but what you're doing right now, we're in an argument. We're talking about why you think that this little Timmy question is going to become a reality, and all you've given me are your feelings. That's my main issue here. There's room for feelings, but in an argument like this, if you're trying to prove it, there's a lot more research showing the world is heading in a more progressive, equal direction rather than the little Timmy question.
Yeah, and I think that's good for a lot of people, but I don't think it might be very good for white people.
Okay.
All right. Well, we can have this chat another time if you want. I'm gonna go.
All right.
Writing me on.
Yep.
Bye.
Oh God. God, that was hard. Okay, that was tough. Okay. Well, that happened. Okay. Let me Oh man, I'm going to send this to Brittany really quickly. More Americans now socially liberal than conservative. 34% of adults now identify as socially liberal and 30% as socially conservative. Though the largest share of respondents, 35%, hold moderate views. Yep, that's where the most people are anyway. I'm going to send that and say, little Timmy question is unlikely to become a reality. when this is the case. Jesus. That was a solid performance. Really? Thanks, man. Is this the white people bad video? Oh, from BitChute. Oh, man, you know we're getting some real good shit now. All the truth is over there. That's what made.
Several years ago, I went to see comedian come out.
Damn. That alt-right internet. All right. So, Tucker Carlson admits he lies on his show. I really try not to, but I certainly do. He went on Dave Rubin's show, which, as we know, is the worst thing you could do, because who the fuck wants to go on Dave Rubin's show? Just kidding. Dave, I'll talk with you, buddy. Tucker Carlson admitted during a recent interview with conservative talk show host Dave Rubin that he sometimes lies on his show. The Fox News host appeared on a YouTube program hosted by Mr. Rubin on Sunday and was asked to explain why supposedly other TV network anchors lie. Carlson responded, I mean, if I lie, if I'm really cornered or something, I lie. Oh, that's funny. Listen, this is after this dude already fucking lost a court case. Or no, won a court case on the basis that it's Tucker Carlson. You can't take the guy seriously. Aye, aye, aye. Well, you did good, Hunter. Thanks. I felt like I didn't do that good. I felt like I was stuttering and messing up too much. So, yeah, that's that's really all that's going on with Tucker Carlson. We keep saying veganism, and then we just, like, don't get around to veganism. All right, let's do it.
Before we start this video, we just want.
Why am I getting an ad? Oh, okay. Thought that was an ad for a second. I was about to get really triggered. Is eating animals wrong? Hunters versus vegans. Oh boy. Are we gonna hear dumb arguments? Intro, cast introductions. I care about animals' well-beings. Veganism is a privileged way of living. Oh, God. Okay. We'll start here. And we're going to watch it on 2x speed because I'm not that invested in this one.
Is that surprising to y'all that 2 hunters walked over?
I would love to hear why. Yeah, I would love to hear it.
Hunters have the utmost respect for animals. And I think that's a really hard thing for people to see. How can you love something and respect something that you kill? It's just a hard concept, right? Conservation is a big reason why I hunt. It not only provides food for my family, but I can shoot a certain number of deer each year, and that will keep that population and that herd thriving.
I guess I've never really came at this conversation from like an angle of vegans versus hunters. It's always vegans versus meat eater. So I understand, in a sense, the...
Hunting is... I feel like if you were like starving or something, it's fine. But if you're like in a, I don't know. This is why I don't talk to my fucking, this is why I don't talk about veganism. Button Mash, thanks for the $5. Do you think drugs, prostitution, and gambling should be legalized? Some drugs, yeah. Hunting is definitely better than, yeah, buying farmed meat, because if there's not like that industry demand.
The respect you have to what you're doing, I just know that I can never do that.
Yeah, and I think that for me is one of my maybe more bigger issues is not with vegans, but it's more.
Uh-oh. BX Bullet, where does Hunter live? Here in Texas, we have to control the deer population. All right. Well, I can argue veganism against a meat eater. Maybe not against a hunter. I don't know. Yeah, maybe I should just change my name to Gatherer. You know, it was funny at first, but maybe I should just go for it. Guys, I think you're going to watch in real time me chickening out of a video because if this were like vegans versus meat eaters, that would be interesting. But I don't know enough shit about hunting. I don't know about controlling deer populations. I don't know this jack shit about this stuff. I click order on the little Grubhub button that delivers me my Impossible Whopper. I shove my face, I sit down, and that's it. That's all. Impossible meat will survive when the Dust Bowl of drought requires all cattle ranches to grow beef. Deers are overpopulated because hunters keep killing off the predators. Oh, plot twist. Maybe this is the hunter versus vegan chat we need. We are the #1 predators of deer. LOL. What? Oh, shit. It's going down in the chat. Chickening from a vegan? Curious. All right. I do have another video I wanted to look at. And, I have not watched this yet. I don't know if it will be good, but it's Anthony Brian Logan.
I love it when you get an unexpected celebrity ally. How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about Nicki Minaj, the world-famous rapper, being thrown under the bus by Joe Reed of MS-13 DNC, all because of Nicki Minaj's stance on getting the shots when it comes to the Met Gala. Now, there's a lot we got to explain. You might not know what I'm talking about, what's going on with Nicki Minaj and MS-13 DNC, and what's the Met Gala. I'll explain all of that. Let's start from the beginning. Let's go all the way back to the top. Now, the Met Gala is this event in New York City, if I'm not mistaken.
For those of you who don't know, this is Anthony Brian Logan, smartest man alive, probably.
Where a bunch of celebrities, they go spend tens and hundreds of thousands of dollars. I'm talking about a ticket is $30,000. A table is $275,000. They spend a lot of money
we're gonna get the
to go to
AOC
this event,
thing, right?
And they got all types of ridiculous outfits on. I'll play some on the screen before
here we
you.
go,
And I think the purpose
I don't
is
care about the AOC.
taxable income. So how are you going to say tax the rich while participating in a thing to have someone pay less taxes? Does that make any sense? I don't think so, but I digress.
Honestly, I don't give a fuck about the AOC thing. It's to me the most menial. Am I okay, Hunter? You good right now, buddy? It's the most meaningless thing imaginable. But at the same time, why is he talking so fast? Because I have it on double speed because I don't need to hear this guy talk at slow pace. Okay. The tax the rich thing, what it really did at the end of the day was raise awareness that taxes on the rich should be raised. And in many ways, the rich are able to take advantage of tax loopholes. And I think there's a conversation to be had there. That's literally all I think of when I see that. Other than that, does it make her a hypocrite? I don't know. Wasn't it when she was a bartender and saying we should tax the rich? People were saying she was just jealous and stuff. And then all of a sudden now it's just, she's a hypocrite. I don't know. You can... Admittedly, I'm not very educated on my Marxist theory, okay, considering that communism is a big fucking joke and a laughingstock among everyone with a brain. But it's my understanding with Marxist theory that you can be a class traitor from the other way around, too. So, like, you could be a class traitor of claiming to be the proletariat while being rich. That would make you a class traitor. But you can also be rich and be a class traitor to the bourgeois by advocating against your own self-interests.
I think, like I said, I haven't been too educated on my Marxian theory ever since that Tanky talked to me. You know, I've been a little hesitant to read it.
Also about the Met Gala, before we get to Nicki Minaj, also about the Met Gala, you have a clear class difference, right? All these leftists talking about we want everybody to be equal, everybody's on the same page. Well, why is it that the celebrities aren't wearing any masks, but the poors, the normies, the staff, they got the mask on? How does that make?
Are they 6 feet apart? I mean, are they vaccinated? I don't know.
Any sense? Does a virus know who's a celebrity, who is not? Do they know who has a top rap song or the top R&B song? Do they know who the top LGBTQ LMNOP influencer in the country is? I don't think so. I think the virus does not discriminate. So why are some people wearing the mask and some are not? It's a clear class difference. You poors, you peons, you peasants, put your mask on and protect me. But I don't need to wear one to protect you because you don't matter. That's the overall theme here. Now, Nicki Minaj could have gone to the Met, but she was like, nah, I don't want to go there because they require you to get the shot. And if I'm going to get the shot, it won't be for the Met. It'll be for a different reason. It'll be because I want to do it. It'll be on my terms. And I'll place that tweet on the screen for you also in the description box below.
Thank you.
Now, I knew as soon as I saw that, I was like, uh-oh, it's going to cause a firestorm. That's going to cause a lot of people to get really triggered, but hurt, upset, and all that good stuff. And of course, I was right. As soon as I saw that tweet, I'm talking about, you know, I just happened to be on Twitter. It had been up for a while, I suppose, maybe a couple hours. I'm not really sure how long it had been up, but it wasn't necessarily immediate, but it had not been up for a full 24 hours yet. Nowhere near that. So I'm looking for reactions, and there's already a whole segment carved out on MS13 DNC that it aired, been recorded, and was posted on Twitter.
MS13.
So before I jump into that rabbit hole,
holy shit,
check that out.
And people like Nicki Minaj, I have to say this. You have a platform, sister, that is 22 million followers. Okay, I have 2 million followers. You have 22 million followers on Twitter. For you to use your platform to encourage our community to not protect themselves and save their lives, my God, sister, you could do better than that. You got that platform.
Now, was this only? Here's the question, Anthony Brian Logan. When, this was September 14th. Okay, when was Nicki Minaj called out? Because this is going to be important here. Because what Anthony Brian Logan's making it sound like is that she's just going off on her for this, saying like, I'm not too sure about the vaccine. When she didn't just say that, followed up by that tweet 10 minutes later was, my cousin's friend's sister's brother's friend's grandma's aunt, twice removed uncle got swollen testicles after taking the vaccine. And that does. It encourages, in one way or another, it encourages people not to get vaccinated. And what you do is you validate these anti-vax narratives that are factually incorrect. It is factually incorrect that COVID is linked to swollen testicles or the vaccine is linked to swollen testicles or anything else like that. It's not linked to infertility. It's been studied in both men and women. So interesting how he just shows this clip now after the one tweet when it was actually 2 tweets. The second one was much more significantly leaning towards the vaccine is so spooky sort of side of things.
It's a blessing. It's a blessing that you got that people listen to you and they listen to you more than they listen to me. For you to use your platform to put people in the position of dying from a disease they don't have to die from. Oh my God, as a fan, as a hip hop fan, as somebody who was your fan, I'm so sad that you did that. So sad that you did that, sister. Oh my God.
Why attack Nicki Minaj just for having an opinion, saying, hey, you know what? If I'm going to get this, it's going to be because I want to get it, not because I'm being bullied. And prior to that one particular tweet, she said, I probably will get it, and I advise you get it. And then someone said, well...
Why is he not bringing up the testicle tweet? You're leaving out, like, the main part of it. You're making it look like she was like, I'm not too sure about the vaccine. I don't know. I'll have to think about it. Ooh, woo. And then all of a sudden they're like, how dare you, anti-vax bitch? You're leaving out the massive balls part of it, buddy. Maybe that'll scare away his boomer fellas. Maybe he's uncomfortable saying the word testicles. Maybe he doesn't know what testicles are. Cheap shot, but true.
Shot saved X, Y, and Z person's life. And she said, that's great. That's usually the norm. So this is not even an anti-vax person necessarily. She's just saying you should do it on your own terms. People took that and they twisted it. All these news outlets, it was like 3 news outlets on Google that had the same story. Nicki Minaj, anti-vax, doesn't want to get it. She's scared of it. And a lot of the headlines were just fake. And Nicki Minaj was pointing out like, hey, you guys are lying on me. The Daily
about
Beast put out the story. She's like, okay, I'll have you guys contacted. You know what that means? There's going to be some lawsuits on their head, like Hollywood Hogan and Gawker, but that's a whole different story. So I digress. The whole point is that even celebrities that aren't necessarily anti-vax might even be pro-vax. They don't like how their statements are being twisted and manipulated by the media. They don't like it.
It wasn't just that tweet. Dislike. That'll really hurt him.
At all. And I'm glad she stood up for it and didn't just allow them to say whatever. Because a lot of celebrities, when they get into a space like that, what they'll do, they'll kind of kowtow, spending $200,000, $300,000, $500,000, $1 million, whatever kind of money they want. And shout out to AOC for being a big time hypocrite, as are most of these leftists. You rushed it, you put it out there too soon, all this, that, and the third. But then when Joe Biden,
all right,
came in, all those fears magically went away. People are fake. I appreciate when people are real.
Oh.
Said attack Nicki Minaj for being skeptical. Meanwhile, she was the exact same way. A lot of these people on the left were skeptical.
Uh-oh. Oh, shit. Oh, damn. You know what? This person sounds like she's being a hypocrite. That's true. Did she actually say this?
Will anyone at all ever fully trust the CDC government again? And who on God's earth would trust a vaccine approved by the FDA?
Oh, no.
You know what? I'm going to undo my dislike. Anthony Brian Logan may have actually provided something, some small benefit for a change here. Hold on. I want to look this up. Let's see. Let's see. Is she going to bring this up? Wait, this looks so hypocritical. Are you kidding me? It was funny because I was always okay with the vaccine, right? I was never one of those like, oh my God, it's a Trump vaccine. I'm not getting it. But okay, apparently if she's saying that, then she sounds like a hypocrite. You know what? I'm not going to like it because everything else was wrong and dog shit. But for bringing this hypocritical tweet to my mind and slightly shifting my opinion, even though I don't give a shit about Joy Ann and never cared at all about their opinion, I will appreciate the fact that you were able to raise my awareness of this one tweet. That was funny. And so I'm not going to like, not going to dislike, leave that neutral. Nicki Minaj responded and called Joy Ann Reid a lying cunt. A lying homophobic coon. I guess I can join in the reindeer games too, right? She wrote, people can go on TV and lie on me. I can report on them too, right? Doesn't have to be truths. Holy shit. Oh, Nicki Minaj actually posted this. Oh, shit. Oh, no. You know what? It looks like we have Nicki Minaj, dumb, dummy, dumb. And then we have Joy Ann Reid, hypocritical, woke scold, liberal type. This is actually kind of, you know what? I'm kind of just going to sit back and relax. What's that meme? I can't say it anymore because I'm on my anti-ableist arc, but two R slurs fighting where they're like, in the, that's what we're doing right here. That's what's happening right. Oh, God, dude. She actually said this too. Oh, no. And I remember, I didn't realize she was the same person. But I remember this girl with this this controversy as well. There were homophobic blog posts, and then she claimed it was hacking. And I'm pretty sure people still to this day like know it was bullshit and that she's lying. But yeah, well, basically, what I think I can summarize here is that Nicki Minaj spread false information, but Joy Ann was the worst person on the entire fucking planet to try and call her out. That's what I'm going to say.
He said the thing. He said the Vosh thing. Wait, what was the Vosh thing? Hunter is going to get clipped for saying cunt. Are you not allowed to say that on here? I'm so desensitized to bad words. I've come a long way since my Christian upbringing. Well, guys, this was a pretty long stream for me, considering the fact that I usually stream for like 2.5 hours, and we're going on to 4 hours now. Yeah, I guess I can stick around and smoke a little more weed for y'all. You know, since you guys seem to be really into that. We all are Hunter? I don't know what that means. Hunter, you smoke too much, but do what you want, I guess. Thank you, Mom. You do be funnier after weed. Guys, I have a secret to tell you, okay? Almost every stream. Not every. But a lot of my streams, I'm already high when I begin streaming, okay? And then I smoke a little more weed on stream, okay? And then I laugh at all you saps in the comments who says, Hunter is getting so fucking high. Look at this guy, he's baked, lol. When it was like, boy, I've been like this all along. You don't smoke enough? Yep. But I am gonna smoke because you know what? Here's why. To that dipshit chatter that said something about me smoking too much. The truth of the matter really is, like I said, my wife and kids are gone. Okay, this is, what's that meme? The Saturdays are for the dads. Well, today's a Tuesday for the dad. Okay. And Demon Doggo, thank you for the $2 donation. Buy some space weed with this money. He's like, you've literally never seen me sober, LOL. You don't seem high. I know I don't because I use it mainly for medicinal purposes. So it gives me like energy, helps me focus. $2 of weed. You know what? I know you guys would be surprised when how considering all right, so this is how we're going to conclude this stream, okay? By me bringing all your that works. His wife and kids don't exist anymore. What is this? What does that even mean? So what I did, since basically, you know, having 2 kids, it can be exhausting, it can be tiresome. Carissa's taken both the kids to go, they're over at grandma's now. Hanging out, having a great time, I'm sure. And because of that, I treated myself to a little bit of Sunshine number 4 is the strain it's called. Have you tried dabbing? No, I'm kind of scared of dabbing, actually. But maybe I shouldn't be. I don't know. He smoked his wife and kids. Guys. It's not funny. And I particularly got this specifically for me to toke. While I relax. Same times 4. Thank you so much for the $10 donation. Would you rather smoke weed with CTV or Mike from Redacted? Honestly, I feel like CTV would be more chill in person. I feel like CTV, if we weren't both on a panel just like hating each other, that it'd probably be a little pretty chill. Mike for BA, no. He'd be like, so Hunter, if you want this blunt, why don't you tell me why the fuck you're actually a fascist neo-Nazi? That's how that would have happened. Mike the sewer rat. True. Sewer socialism. That's what he was talking about. Whew. Well, y'all. Look at my eyes. Uh-oh. Now I'm looking high, okay? I'll smoke weed with Destiny. And you know what? Just if... Sheesh. I'm doing rough right now. Wow. See ya, BX Bullet. Yeah, I'm looking forward to talking to you on Friday, too. But yeah, if Destiny wants to smoke weed with me, I will do something that I hardly ever do. I will share my weed. Him explaining sewer socialism would be great if he was high. Probably. All right, well. Oh, shit. Virgin lungs? Not really, dude. I was just a big hit, all right? All right, guys. I'm getting really high.